Hey, what's going on, YouTube? It's the brain of the mainframe here, Nile Scala, with the man, the myth, the legend, the teen sensation, traveling through time, Mr. Billy Tucci. How you doing, brother?
Doing good, man. I'm doing good. Getting younger every day. Younger every day, brother. But we got a great show today. I love that. The Corona Con virus.
Corona
And it's not Con. And everyone's panicking. People are canceling, show appearances. Conventions are canceling. But one man says no. One man and his illustrious crew are standing up to it and saying, do you know what? If the cons are being canceled, we can't go to the cons. There's no cons to go to. Why don't we bring the con to you?
Oh.
And that person is
Brian Pulido, along with Marat Mychaels.
Let's do this thing.
Look at that. And he's taking his the vaccine right now.
Well played. Well played.
Well played.
Well played. We're over here, boys.
Indeed. It's great to see you, brother. It really is.
It's great to see you guys, man. All I got to say is the show must go on.
The show must go on. And that's exactly it. And you really called it for that one, man. And it's great to have you on. We think you're doing a wonderful idea. I know we plan to have you on anyway, but I think it's just kismet that all this stuff that's going on with East Coast, with Emerald City Comic Con, huge show, huge.
It's tremendous. I mean, if you look at it too, other events like South by Southwest, the Arnold Classic, which is a gigantic health and bodybuilding event that has over 250,000. Now, even in Tucson, Arizona, the rumor is the Festival of Books, which has over 100,000 attendees. People are having a reaction to this circumstance that we're all experiencing. But Coffin Crew couldn't have it. The show must go on.
Show must go on. Absolutely. And your fans are more the happy for it. So, Brian, would you mind telling everybody what you, Marat, and the whole entire Coffin Comics crew have in mind as a response to the Emerald City Comic Con being canceled? Because I know you had you were coming out with, the big Coffin presence. You're going to be there with the big booth, the whole deal. And now that's not possible. But an alternative has arose, and the show must go on. So can you give us a little insight of what you guys are doing this week?
Yes. So this all came about pretty naturally. Emerald City Comic Con eventually was postponed in a very natural, organic way. A bunch of pals got on the phone, and this online convention was born. I have a couple of fellow grinders out there, like my boy right here, Marat Mychaels. We've been grinding today. The great Steve McDonald, who is a wonderful ally of ours from
the Clan McDonald.
The Clan McDonald, indeed.
Of course, Monty Moore and Mike DiBalfo, co-writer Mike McLean, and I'm getting ahead of myself. So we had this conversation on the eve of Emerald City being canceled and said the show must go on. And we became entertained with the idea of seeing what we can do to bring the convention experience to people all around the globe. So together, we've been conspiring behind the scenes and saying to ourselves, what makes a convention special? Well, certainly it's the interaction. It's the one-on-one. So beginning Thursday and on Friday and on Saturday, we're doing what we're calling Coffin Comics Con Online. We've invited a bunch of friends, Marat Mychaels, Monty Moore, Mike DiBalfo, Clan McDonald, other allies. We're working with Comic Book Shopping Network. We are working with Economics and Comics, and we are going to be doing live events that are scheduled throughout the day. It includes a whole tiers of panels, educational panels. If you want to learn how to write comics, you want to learn how to market comics, you want to learn the art of the cover from maybe the homage king himself. And of course, these wonderful exclusives we had all intended to offer at Emerald City Comic Con. We're going to give everybody across the globe the opportunity to get in while the getting's good. But that's not all. The list goes on. I apologize. I'll keep talking. There's a lot of excitement planned for the weekend.
Excuse me.
I'm really curious the structure of this.
Yeah.
Is this like, are you going to have like post like kind of an itinerary and like people log on at certain times?
Yes, absolutely. So thank you so much for asking about that. Because this is coming together so quickly, our itinerary will be posted by Wednesday at lunch, but we will be doing multiple channels. We'll be on all of our personal Facebook pages. We will be streaming on our own YouTube channel. We'll be streaming also different content on Economics and Comics YouTube channel. We'll be streaming on Comic Book Shopping Network also. So yeah, there's the content and the different channels will all be listed.
Now, will each channel, as you're airing whichever segment you have, will there be like a moderator or a host that's going to try to be a liaison between the fans and the creators?
Absolutely. So we're bringing in co-writer on Everything Coffin Comics, Mr. Mike McLean, who's serving as official moderator on the panels that we're holding. Some of our panels will be self-moderated. So, for example, Monty Moore is going to do a live cover image and teach people how to do a cover. We have one of our favorite Lady Death cosplayers, Sapphire Nova. She's going to be doing a series of live streams called Becoming Lady Death. And you will see from the very beginning to the final reveal and photo shoot how she becomes Lady Death. Of course, right before we went live, I started communicating with Marat, Mikey Balfo, and Monty Moore about another panel called The Art of the Cover. And what better way to learn how to craft a cover that will entice people than these modern masters?
Ooh.
So yes, all
the
various areas will all be listed very specifically. Right now, it's just kooky because it's all coming into focus.
What a great idea, because I remember when we did our San Diego Comic-Con crossover event, and we were just getting bombarded. Debbie at one point was like, and she was getting bombarded by people. How do we get this cover? We want, those limited edition covers we did. And then, of course, you were able to offer them. But now you're offering them in real time, and everyone all across the world can get them.
Well, let me offer you a
That's
perspective.
really cool. It's really good that you're doing that.
Well, I think it's fun. It was another expression and a neat experiment because think of it this way. When our Coffin Comics exclusives go live at Thursday at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, and if we're lucky enough to have orders come in and people want things signed, we're going to shout out people's names. We're going to sign their book, and there's their book for their order. That's not all. Every 90 minutes to 2 hours, we're going to be doing contests for people who order within a time frame. And they're going to win something cool, which we'll announce shortly. And every person will actually be eligible for a grand prize, which I think people are going to really, really enjoy when we announce it on Thursday.
Wow.
I mean,
That's incredible.
Really, Nile, Marat, where we're coming from is, I guess being kind of outlaw style, we're like, how do you get it done, man? And I mean, with respect to Emerald City, the second they had to do what they had to do, we had to do what we had to do. I mean, together in about 3 hours, I think.
I think you're going to be starting a trend if this coronavirus thing really picks up. Because think about it. With every convention, Brian, Billy, Marat, you guys know, you're out spending money to create exclusives and things to bring to these conventions, having special stuff that are only sold at these conventions. So what do you do when your show gets canceled, postponed, or rescheduled? Yeah. Well, now you're stuck with all this inventory.
Yeah.
So that's a great thing. I've been kind of waiting for someone to do this.
I think our whole, I got to tell you, the Coffin crew, we're like a Indy 500 pit crew. What we adore about this is the opportunity for all of us to come together and just use all our skills to do something like this. So you actually see our headquarters transform into an actual comic book convention. We're actually going to recreate our booths, and the wonderful artists like Marat are going to recreate their booths. They're going to be bringing cool, fun stuff you could only get if you're actually at a con. So in many cases, this is the first time we've offered this kind of stuff, because usually it's just for the convention.
Now,
not even the exclusive, just like all the cool onesies and stuff. And we're opening up the Coffin Comics Vault every day at noon Mountain Standard Time, and then we're shutting it back up at 1 p.m. So it's a thing that we like to do live at a convention, and we haven't quite done that online ever.
Very cool. Now, just in case anyone's curious, thinking, all right, you're doing a live thing. I have to go through a chat. I have personal information. How do you go about making the purchases?
There'll be a couple ways. I mean, I could tell you the way Coffin Comics is going to be doing it. Mm-hmm. And then I could roughly, maybe Marat can help speak for Clan McDonald. But this is what I'll let you know. We're actually going to, quote unquote, preload our existing store, LadyDeathStore.com. While we load it, we're going to load it in for what we call sessions. And we will, quote unquote, unhide certain content at certain times. So largely, in our case, we're going to be pointing to people to very specific links. TJ, I love that idea. A lock of Billy's hair would be the perfect grand prize. I probably have a couple of those from like when you visited.
Yeah.
TJ, Marat is booth eye candy.
That's right.
Marat's going to be the booth babe. The coffin booth babe.
Oh, you can do a lot better than that.
Now,
your business has to go out.
Well, what's your thought on this, Marat? You know, with the, you've got your own convention schedule. Obviously you guys are going to certain of the same conventions, and then you're also going probably, totally different directions. I mean, what's your thought on what's going on and maybe taking this not only from what you're going to be doing this weekend, but maybe even further down the road?
Well, I've got to be honest. I've actually done it a couple of times over the last few months, going up to Comics Elite in Indiana and doing a Facebook Live sale, and then going actually to Chicago to do one with Steve at Clan McDonald. And I think this is kind of just part of, like we've talked previously on some of the Kickstarter stuff we've discussed. This is just another way for people to, order their books and get them in their hands without having to leave their house. And I think, the idea that you can actually, I know it's been tried, but I actually think this is way better planned and is going to come off a lot better. The idea that there will be panels and special events and things that you can kind of attend without actually having to show up to a show, I think it's something that's just going to keep growing. And I think this is kind of, we're patient zero, I guess, for lack of a better term. And obviously, anybody who's ever dealt with Brian as a customer or as a employee or as a partner of any sort, Brian does everything. He's a type A guy when it comes to this type of stuff. Every T is going to be crossed, every I is going to be dotted. So I think this is actually going to be planned better than anything that anybody's tried online before. So I'm excited to be part of it.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to attend it virtually and see what you guys have going on. I mean, that's incredible. So you've done so actually, for no one that knows, like I started off my, online streaming career. We used to have Comic Cabana live auction show, and it was a Facebook live show. So yeah, we would have, so if that's the style you're doing it, that's actually a very simple, buyer-seller relationship. We did auctions, obviously, of books and different things, and we'd have our panels and stuff. And so, anyone out there, if that's the method you're going to use, it's a very secure and easy method to purchase. You just have to make sure. We always had like an extra set of eyes. I was there. Frank Amazing was my co-host. We had engineer Matt, and I had another buddy, because once those things start flying, man, you got to get all eyes on deck.
And like Brian, Steve McDonald is a guy who pays attention to all the little details. And he is, nobody works harder as a facilitator in this industry. The guy is just always on the grind. He busts his butt for all his fans. He makes sure, all the books are as well taken care of. If it leaves our hands in perfect condition, it's going to get either to the grader or to the customer in absolutely perfect condition. The guy is just top notch.
Yeah, I concur. Yeah, Steve, guys like Comics Elite, Steve McDonald, who's coming in, they're just the best in the business. And not only that, too, like all those guys, Steve, he's a lovely guy. Like, I know that we plan to have a good time at the end of the night every night. And like, that's the guy I want to be with for the night, like just to rock it out.
Oh, hell yeah.
He snores when he's staying at my house. So
Steve's also, he's an easy friend. Brian, like when you have those hard friends, it's like, it's kind of tough being your friend sometimes. You never have to say that to him. You know what I mean? It's always easy. It's always fun. You know what I mean? It's always relaxing.
Yes.
Now, aside from getting back to your thing, now there's a couple of things is that you guys both have done something similar to this before. But what I find, and good or bad, I mean, you got to make lemonade out of lemons, right? When God gives you lemons, you make lemonade. Is that this virus, this outbreak, or whatever would be considered, or this panic, or this, we'll get into the topic of the virus to begin with, but it's really can serve as a great catalyst for more people to actually know what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's a great, in a way, again, the show must go on to have this virus, to have this panic, have one of the biggest comic book conventions in the world have to be canceled. This is now people like, well, oh man, I wanted to get that. And now they know that, well, the Coffin Comics crew are putting on Coffin Con, or whatever you want to call it. The show must go on con, and you're going to do a live stream. And I just think that what you guys are doing is really wonderful. It really is. And I think it's going to be huge. And I got a question, working with Clam McDonald and all. Is there a way that you can have some sort of attendance tracker for this? Can we somehow get how many views? Is there a way?
I don't know the actual answer. I don't know if Marat has a thought, but if you take a look at, I guess, so we're going to probably be on 4 to 5 different types of channels, but maybe looking at the accumulated streams over the time. And we're going to do all this in what we call sessions. So for example, each session begins on the given hour. So for example, Saturday begins at 10, goes to 10:45. Now we may have 4 tracks going, and then we will take a break. Everyone goes to the bathroom, do what they got to do. And then the next session begins at 11, and there'll be 1 to 4 tracks going. So I guess one way is to kind of
just have to tally your views.
Yeah, or ask everyone to do likes. Can you please give us a like? Okay. Or just respond, even if they dislike. Who cares? People go to conventions and don't like what they see.
Sure.
Lou Ferrigno might be an asshole to them or something like that, and they may not have a great experience, but that could help too.
I'm the only guy in comics who has a great experience every time with Lou Ferrigno. Since the early 90s, that's like my dude.
Really?
Yeah, I have a great time.
He's so mean to everybody.
I've heard so many stories, but not from, I don't know what it is.
I have a comment I want to make, but I don't know if I should.
Oh, you had one? You had
it was just a joke. I was gonna be like, Billy's just mad because he couldn't hear him. Because everyone,
there you go. See?
Like that was a low blow. What are you gonna do?
It's terrible. See, that's it. All right. Anyway, getting back to it, what's also great about something like this, and I think especially during the slow months, maybe the winter months, January, February, when there's not a lot of that, is Soloff calling like he doesn't know we're live. Drives me crazy. My friend, remember Brian, we were on, and my friends call in because they want to hear their ringtone. They want, so fuck you, Soloff. Anyway, so what's also what this is great, and it's not just the creators, like you said, you put a lot of money into this. That there's shipping the booth, there's packing the booth, there's the cost of producing your exclusive editions for the show, prints, stuff like that. But it's the time that you save, and it's not only the time that you're saving the Coffin crew, but also the fans. They don't have to spend that money to travel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fascinating. I'm sort of curious what will really emerge out of it. But as you can imagine, largely it came out of need. And also, no matter what, Coffin Comics was going to be allocating this time to this event. So we actually said as an experiment, let's allocate a matching amount of time and effort into this premise and see what comes out of it. Because I think, speaking for myself, similar to Marat, we do live selling events. We're on Comic Book Shopping Network, but we've never been on for about 40 hours aggregate over a course of 3.5 days. We're sort of curious what will really come out of that. And in our quest to recreate what occurs at a comic book convention, we are indeed breaking it down into these what we call sessions, which would also be focused. So that this is on this track, this is what this particular 45 minutes is about. And then on this track, this is what that's going to be about. So it's a fun experiment. And again, I guess speaking for I mean, inviting guys that I adore in the comics, like Marat. He and I go back since before he cares to know.
Way
Monty
back.
Moore, DeBalfo, Mike McLean. It's just another fun. I don't know. A lot of the stuff really, it's coming from a place of fun too. And that the idea with Clan McDonald that we could put this thing together in less than 3 hours, in principle, because we all kind of know each other. We know how we work. We know what we can expect from each other. Not a lot of second guessing. I just think it's a fun experiment, and I think we could really bring a lot of fun and joy and entertainment value to people out there. And let me say this. I had a conversation that really was impactful with Steve McDonald of Clan McDonald. And it was, as we met, we were at a con, and we do live selling with him there as well. And he said something to me that really, really connected with me. He said that the service that he provides is connecting comic book culture with people who may not normally be able to get to a convention. So a lot of people can't get to conventions, and it could be a multitude of reasons. So it could be something as simple as work prevents them. It could be social anxiety. It could be a handicap possibly keeps people from a convention, or job. And the idea, when he expressed that to me, I got it. It's like, it really is a service to people. It's bringing people something that can't otherwise make happen. And it really just made me happy.
So, and you're always incredibly engaged. You'll have your little raffles where you dip in, right? And you even had me do that, dip in and pull out the ticket. Someone wins something. I think, will you be having things like that to the readers every?
Hell yeah, we will. So we're going to have probably more raffles than we should. And everyone who wins in a certain period of time is going to be eligible for a grand prize way at the end. So yeah, we're going to be raffling it up. I mean, I think I have a list here of all the crazy stuff we're doing.
Well, let's let it out, bro.
Yeah, man, I should I'll get my freak flag on here.
There you go.
Exclusive, remarks, contests, prizes, panels. The vault's going to open. Live streaming sessions all weekend. More. I mean, yeah.
Now, will you be filming or going live? Will you have a stream of you actually opening the vault?
Hell yeah.
So
our vault is actually in a secret. I mean, we have an actual vault, and it's actually in a secret location. So we're, again, in the domain of creating a convention-like experience, we have our comic book convention version of the vault we will open.
Oh, very cool.
Someone's asking, the mob seat is asking, will there be a central hub to find all the virtual links for the online Comic-Con? Yes, I think the central hub is probably going to be all of the creators' main Facebook pages and websites. And we will definitely post that for you. We'll give you more information than you ever need. However, if you're interested in getting the real lowdown, go to ladydeathuniverse.com, sign up to our mailing list in the upper right, and we're going to keep everybody informed.
So on a technical end, I wish I could go to this. I want to see how this is all going to be set up.
You can.
You can be there virtually.
I'll be there virtually. But now, do you have web cameras set up at each booth, or are you going to be? How are you guys going about that?
So, Nile, we don't hold a candle to you when it comes to technology. However, what we're going to do is we're actually going to have dedicated camera people with their various cameras on the dedicated platforms. So, for example, Clan McDonald will be on their Facebook page with their camera/phone doing their particular session. And we'll have on our end, we'll have up to 3 camera people, some running 2 devices on a given platform. So we're a lot simpler than you, and we look up to you, and we aspire to get as rad as you are with all your cool tech. But I think we'll be pretty primitive. It's going to be us on a given platform, pointing our PDAs on unipods.
So he's putting on the Phil Suling of online comic cons for this one.
Absolutely, yeah. We're starting.
In a few more shows, you'll be Comic-Con International 2020.
Dan Mendoza.
Dan Mendoza. That's right, yo.
Oh, the beast.
That's right.
Now, Marat, and will you be going to the Coffin offices Will you set up your booth there? So you will be at the Coffin offices. So you're going to have now. Will Dan be going? Will Monty be going? Or are they going to be doing from their studios too?
I'll be going for sure, and I know DeBal is going to be there. Is Monty coming live?
Yeah. So Monty Moore will be there live, and we're going to transform for everybody. You know, we treat our offices like a studio. So it really was going to look like a comic book convention. So between our archive and our war room, we're going to transform it, but we're going to keep our Coffin bar a bar.
Nice.
Now, will local fans be able to attend this, or is this off limits for, actual fans in the space and only virtual?
Coming down to the wire, and we may very well do an invite only, just due to the space.
Mm-hmm.
So we might do an invite only on some Super Fiends and some.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough.
That'd be awesome. Yeah. I think your super fans will be.
Because I think Lee's all getting ready to go.
I think Lee will be. He'll just be sitting outside the building.
We're ready to rock it out.
Yeah.
Come out for a cigarette break.
Now, Marat, will you be doing commissions just like you would be if you were at Emerald City?
Yeah.
And what's your commission prices? What's your commission prices?
I'm getting expensive because I'm getting old and lazy.
Hey, man, you put the work in. You deserve it.
Right.
No,
you can't be giving stuff. We used to give stuff away for free. Can't do that.
I'm 100 for a bust and 300 for a full figure. So not too bad.
No, that's not bad. That's like what I paid.
$40.
So they'll be able to reach you through your Facebook page. Will you be streaming live from your Facebook too?
I'll be streaming live from mine, and then Steve McDonald, he'll be taking a lot of those orders. Because usually when we do remarks, people want them graded, and Steve is a CBCS facilitator, so he'll be handling all the CBCS stuff. I don't know if you guys are going to be handling CGC, Brian.
Yeah, when Coffin Comics does its sessions, we'll be doing CGC Signature Series.
Nice.
You bet.
Because you guys are certified with the CGC, right, Brian?
We are. You bet.
You are. Okay,
is Clan McDonald going to be there too in the Coffin offices?
Yes. Yeah. So that's okay. Yeah. I apologize if we didn't get that. So everyone's converging at HQ, including Clan McDonald, Billy from over at Economics and Comics, and all the artists, and Mike McLean, and that'll be the hub of all the activity. So our live selling sessions will occur there, and all our programming will also occur there, and then we're going to stream out. We might have certain sessions where we do invite Super Fiends in specifically. Mm-hmm. That's really great that you found that Lady Duck Between Heaven and Hell in a bookstore. That's super cool. That was a fun book.
Yeah. Dan says virtual. Yeah, Dan, I'm sorry.
I think they are going to be poor. Honestly, this is kind of like one of those things, and this is, who knows what this virus is going to bring, because we know how the media is, right? No one has all the facts. There's so much misinformation out there. I mean, really, if you guys are curious, you should just go online or even just call your local doctor's office or whatever to get the true information on the coronavirus versus the flu. But, people don't know what's going to happen, who it's going to affect. And one thing I read today that was really cool before I get into my point is, I'm kind of one of those stubborn people that was like, I'm not going to get it. If I get it, I'll be fine. It's like the flu, blah, blah, blah. I'm a young guy, whatever. But then I read something that was like, I may survive it, but I could pass it to someone who can't. So I think we all just need to take that extra precaution. Yeah, little kid. Well, so again, there's something about kids under 9 may not really be susceptible to it because of something with their system. I think really it's affecting the elderly. I think most of the deceased are elderly because it's the respiratory issues. But anywho, I mean, so, we're looking at this as what could it be? And a lot of people are like, oh, it's, we don't know what it's going to be, right? We have no clue. This could just pass, warmer weather comes. It can't thrive in the warmer weather. But I mean, we see this going on, and this may be kind of like that catalyst to really push the online convention, because now if things are getting canceled in advance, they can't just uncancel a show. Because now all the guests, all the creators, everyone has to reschedule. They have to do things. They have to keep moving on because this is supplemental money. And sometimes these conventions, as you guys know, are a huge part of creators' incomes. So I'm really excited. I hope I don't like that people are dying, people are getting sick or anything like that. But as far as like the virtual con is concerned, I'm really curious to see how this is going to evolve in the next couple months.
Yeah, I am too, and I'm really grateful that this technology, even as primitive as we will use it, exists, and that we have these friendships and business relationships that could come together so quickly.
Yeah.
And have this. So I'm equally curious, guys. I think at the very least, I know with the Coffin Crew, I know for everyone who's there, we're just going to have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know that our inside sales manager, Sean Artiega, is a phenomenal cook, and he's gonna make barbecue on Saturday for the crew.
Yeah,
so,
buddy.
So you're gonna have better food than you would get at a comic convention? No.
Yeah,
Will you have coffee?
Dude, come on. I'm like kid coffee. We're gonna have coffee, munchies. The other fun thing is, Billy knows this. My background actually years ago was working in film production. So we worked hard, but we always ate well. So one thing I think you could count on is we're going to have really good munchies, very good lunch. I'm bringing cigars, shitty cigars. Our bar is stocked. And
you gotta start smoking good cigars, man.
no, I like shitty
Next time I
cigars.
see you, I'm gonna bring you some good cigars.
All right. Well, I smoke good cigars too, man, but I like shitty cigars. So what can I tell you?
You're probably like me. I like to buy the shitty cigars, but I will take really good cigars.
Yes,
when given to me.
I'm well aware of that, Scala.
And at the end of the night, whoever wants to party, that's what we're going to do. We're just going to rock it out.
So, the thing is, I remember, Brian, we were talking, and I remember when you were first talking about crowdfunding, when you first wanted to go to Kickstarter with Lady Death, and you were talking about it, and you're all amped up. And I remember one of the things you said, though, was like, you said, you know what? It's just such a grind doing, it's part of the business, but doing comic book conventions.
Yes.
The time it takes from you, right? The work. I mean, how much work you put into it and how much work you lose, but it's just so taxing on your body and all, and, and meeting all these people and stuff, and you can get sick from it and stuff, and now you're actually doing like the first, like real major virtual con is what I see it.
Yeah. I am in no way complaining, but if you cut to my life 5 years ago, it's true. I would do 30 conventions in a year, and I was doing them for two reasons. I was trying to keep my name alive and out there, but I was also trying to make a living for my family. And it is difficult when you're trying to weigh your creative output and then traveling to conventions. And I think we can all agree that the fun part of the convention is when you're there and you're set up and you're meeting people and you're signing things for them. And myself as a collector, I like getting in early. I could also shop and collect and then going out at night and having a meal. But kind of the unsexy part is the traveling to and fro, being away from family. And I'm not whining, I'm just sort of laying it out there.
Yeah.
The idea that life could change around a little bit and it could be a little bit more about the creation, or in our case, we're doing a lot of business building. We're looking at systemizing a lot of what we do and making this company something that could last for decades. So as much as I love and adore meeting people and getting out there, it's a pretty interesting opportunity to have something like this, which is a way that we can reach people literally around the world without really having to travel too far.
Yeah.
I guess one other point I'd like to say about this too is, again, not complaining, but in the world of comic books, even like the biggest A-level guy, maybe like 3 A-level guys get to travel first class.
Yeah.
They get everything that someone else worries about everything for them. But most of us, we're not in that category. So like every little detail is on us, and it's not the end of the world either, but it becomes a different focus than, maybe creating the comic books or building a business. Like being in the convention business is a business, and it takes a lot of thought, and not bad, but something like this could very well be a doorway for other ways for creative people to connect powerfully across the globe and probably spend a little more time on their creative endeavors.
Yeah. And because a case in point, in my own personal experience, 2 weeks ago, we did a convention in Miami. It was fantastic, right? Great small con, a lot of energy, met a lot of great people. I had a lot of fun. Then Monday night, we didn't have to go home until late Monday night. But so we got home Monday night at the regional airport by me about 11:30, 12 o'clock. We're in bed. But bro, I couldn't work until Thursday afternoon. Even though I had Tuesday, Wednesday, I just didn't want to talk to anyone because, you're on, right? I mean, I've seen you when you're at these shows, you're
cranking.
You're on and you love it because you feed off of those, off of all these. And let's face it, how many fans that we met as fans have become really great friends now. They're like family. Yes. And then it's all gone. Everyone goes their separate ways and is almost kind of a letdown too, right? And you just want to.
Yeah, the expensive energy is incredible. It's kind of funny too, because I don't know, like we probably have similar characteristics where on one hand, I'm kind of a solitary person. Then on another hand, I'm a very gregarious person. So I'm out there at a con and I'm just like, giving it all away. And then it's sort of like I have to go back and recover in quiet, literally for about 2 or 3 days also.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Again, like rock stars where someone, like there's a bus for us to get on and fly in first class. It's like we're overseeing all the little minutia of it all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Marat, what are you looking off stage? What are you looking off camera? What's going on? What are you watching a game or something?
I'm working.
Oh.
I believe that.
So what is the name? What is the official name of the convention?
Well, what I chose to name it, and hopefully everyone's cool with it, is Coffin Comics Con Online. So I'm not like dissing anybody. It's just something I just jumped on. Maybe like Friday and Saturday, or Thursday and Friday should be called that. And then it should be like, I don't know. It should have a different name on Saturday.
No, your host, you get to name it whatever you want to name it.
Okay, I'm the host. Okay, I'll take that. It'll be HQ Con.
There you go. Because you can't really call it Coffin Con with the coronavirus going, right? I mean, that's kind of. Wait a minute. Aren't you drinking Corona?
Of course I'm drinking Corona.
No fear. Look at that guy. No fear. So yeah.
Nothing unreasonable.
Well, personally, I was talking to a couple of friends today about, and I don't know how you guys feel about it. And I made a tweet about it that we all should be diligent, of course. Everyone should take care of themselves. Let's face it, people. You should always be washing your friggin' hands anyway. But the thing is I feel that big pharma is pulling in a windfall from this, from everyone buying either Theraflu or something like that. And I think this only helps fuel them, this panic that the media is freaking out over this. I mean, I don't know if it's a kind of yellow journalism or what, but I don't know how you guys feel. I mean, you got to see how many cases, and I posted, that's what I was trying to look for when I was off camera too.
I have a slightly different point of view for you to consider.
Yeah.
So it's this. I'm actually subtracting the media out of this because I understand the media portrayal, and I get all the empirical evidence of how other things are more lethal. Easily, I get it. Influenza is more lethal. Mm-hmm. Even, God forbid, like the amount of people committing suicide in the United States of America per day is probably a lot higher. Yeah. But I think what's going on is a very natural human reaction, which is fear of the unknown.
Mm.
It's been very pervasive. I actually don't think that the media began it. I think it's in the DNA of humanity. When you're struck with something that's wholly unique, there's a robust reaction to it. And let's be honest, I also feel like I know what I know about this thing, but I'm clear that there's a lot I don't know.
Yeah.
And if we look back in the past of human history, you go back 100 years and you look at the Spanish flu, that was really invasive on the planet. 50 million people died. And I think in the back of everyone's head, whether it's based on fact or fiction, whether it's fueled by media or not, there's this thing in the human conscious when they reach the unknown, everyone extrapolates.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've looked at we've all had probably 100 conversations about this, and I've already talked to captains of industry, blue collar people, white collar guy on the street, and it just seems to be for this, a fear-based reaction.
Yeah.
And I have empathy for people on it. I mean, at Coffin Comics, we're taking what we would call reasonable precautions based on what we've heard from things like CDC. Now, what we're doing is pretty simple. We've instituted a hand washing protocol where before you enter, we watch YouTube videos on how to wash your hands. So when people enter, we're cleaning our surfaces at work. And let's be honest, like a lot of people in our circle have interactions, whether they're teachers, this, that, or the other. So when people go into HQ for work, we have a hand washing protocol. We have one for after lunch and upon leaving. And we're empathetic to people, like people in our lives. We have elders in our lives. We have people working for us whose family members just came out of the hospital. So we have empathy. Now, I don't know the scope and scale of this thing. And I don't even have an opinion on it just yet because it's ever evolving. But I don't think that, and I don't mean to pontificate forever, but over at Coffin, we're really not going to be led by fear on this one. We're going to be respectful of it. We're going to hear what something like the CDC, World Health Organization says to do. We're going to do our best. But then other than that, we're really just going to choose to live our lives because we're not going to succumb to irrational fear because that wouldn't make sense.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Well, and it's also scary with up in Seattle is probably, I mean, that has been hit the hardest in the United States.
I really feel for the folks up there, and I understand why Emerald City did what they did because that's like the ground zero in the USA.
Yeah. And I don't blame them either. I just, but we also learned a lot. Who knows? We'll see. Hopefully I guess, right?
I think what a lot of people are experiencing, and it's what we experienced, was we actually did honestly cancel Emerald City Comic Con about 12 hours before they threw in the towel. And we really came from this point of view. It's really simple. I would have been happy to have gone. I was going to bring our boy Nick G. Nick G never gets sick. He's been with me since 2008. He's maybe taken 2 afternoons off. We're going to go up there and rock it out. But God forbid there was like a 1 in a zillion chance that we brought something back that would hurt some of the elders in our family. We just couldn't live with it.
Yeah.
So, call me what you will, but I just wasn't up for doing that.
No, I don't blame you. I think you're 100% right.
Well, plus people, they look, like you said, it's fear. It's human nature, right? You can say the media is fear-mongering. They're doing this, they're doing that. But most of the stuff just says, go online and look up, call your local health physician and whatnot. But what do most people do when they're sick or they don't feel good? They they go to WebMD and it tells them they have like brain cancer when all they have is like an allergic reaction to something.
Everyone's a doctor now.
Yeah, everyone's a doctor now, and then everyone freaks out, and then it's word of mouth and the that old game of telephone, and then they start going out and just ransacking everything like it's the end of the world. And I got to tell you something, I'm pretty pissed off because I got toddlers and I need wet wipes, I need hand sanitizer, not for this crap, but just for the freaking day to day with these little monsters.
Yeah.
And why there's no toilet paper in the stores?
Yeah. I know there's nothing.
I don't know why people are taking toilet paper.
Yeah, I know.
Hand sanitizer with 60% alcohol, aloe, and a couple of drops of oil.
Yeah. But I mean, what do you think this is going to blow up any further than it has? Like, is there word on the street? Like, Marat, any other conventions you have or anything that's like questionable now?
WonderCon is the one that people seem to be most concerned about.
April.
But I think we'll see over the next couple of weeks if Kansas City goes off without a hitch, and then what's that Ace one that's supposed to happen, right? Isn't there a Ace in Boston?
Yeah, and MegaCon in mid-April.
Well, I'm planning on being a MegaCon, so. But I'm saying if the next two kind of go off without any problems, I mean, I think this was a convergence of just horrible timing and horrible place. Like if Emerald City was anywhere but Seattle, I don't think it gets canceled this weekend.
I agree.
And being so fresh too, it's not like they happened, 2 months ago or 6 weeks ago.
Yeah,
it just happened.
Yeah.
Well, we have a little.
Well, was Seattle the first state to have verified coronavirus patients?
Well, first death.
Yeah.
Oh, it's first death. Okay.
Yeah, on the day that Kobe Bryant passed, I was at a con in California, just attending it as a fan, and it was a 1 day for collectors. And those were the first days where there was, they said there was a coronavirus person in Southern California and one in Arizona. That's going back to the beginning of February, I believe. Late January.
Late
Okay.
January.
Well, the Tucci, we're having something similar here. Is that Debbie, because of the coronavirus outbreak, made me send her to Costa Rica with her 4 college roommates for the week, where she is right now.
I like the way she rolls.
No, she had planned that like in October. She did that, but no, she's down there. It's like, oh, no, there's no corona down here. I like her. So,
well, the beers, I'm sure there are. She's like, there's plenty of corona down here.
Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah,
and she's like, and look at the doctors with no shirts.
I want to get it. There you go, bro. I gotta have a beer now too. But well, this is. I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, Scala, what a great like I said, making lemonade when life gives you lemons, make some lemonade, and look what these boys are doing right here.
Billy,
hey,
I
you know what?
appreciate this. Like the feeling when this was going on and DC made the initial announcement, and the energy, whether positive or negative, was palpable. It really reminded me of the exclusive wars in the late 90s. That energy where every moment we used to have 13 national distributors, it consolidated. People are calling you up, trying to get you exclusive. I'm sure we've all had, in the lead up of Emerald City, I was having like half a dozen conversations with a who's who, like, are you going? Why aren't you going? When we canceled 12 hours beforehand, I got like these big dogs calling me up and like, okay, what do you know that we don't know? Oh, wow. Like, Washington State is cracking off. And I just explained what I explained. It's like, out of respect to my elders, I thought that in the zillion to one chance, but so be it.
No convention, no comment, nothing against comic. We love them all, but no convention is worth, like I said, getting sick or
they're already petri dishes to begin with.
Yeah,
they really are.
Real.
You guys probably have amazing immune systems.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, I really wish, Scala, that we were there and we could have a Crowdfunding Comics live.
That would be fun.
Show to document this, because what a blast this is going to be. This is
we are working on our mobile studio, though. I don't know if you guys knew that. Yes, we're working on our mobile studio. I've got it all planned out.
That's so
now
cool.
We just need to find the pennies for it, because I go big or go home, man. You can't do it half-assed. You got to go big or go home. We're going to have banners upon banners with green screens. We're going to have the big professional 4K cameras set up with the lighting. I'm basically going to mimic the rig I have here in the studio, but I'm going to make it portable.
I love it. Yeah, we really look up to what you've accomplished, Nile. It's really cool.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
He is the brain.
That's right.
Brain the main.
Billy in the brain.
It wasn't for Marat's support in his phone calls every other day. No, just
every other day.
That's all. He's like, hey, Nile, it's Marat. I'm like, hey. He's like, you're doing good today. I'm like, thanks, bro.
Well, again, this is wonderful. I think what you're doing is amazing.
Thank you.
Can you tell us again, because I know we get people that come in and out and stuff. What are the hours and the days and when we're starting and all, and where can they go? All that, if you don't mind.
Coffin Comics Con online in association with Clan McDonald Comics, Economics and Comics, Comic Book Shopping Network, and our guests, Marat Mychaels, Monty Moore, Mikey Balfo, Mike McLean, and Sapphire Nova's Lady Death will be presenting beginning this Thursday at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. We're going to post all the details of what's occurring on Thursday, Friday, and especially our big day Saturday on a multitude of platforms, including Brian Pulido's personal Facebook page, Lady Death Universe, Marat Mychaels' Facebook page, Clan McDonald's Facebook page, Monty Moore's Facebook page, Mike DiBalfo's Facebook page. And we're going to do, in our case, an official preview of the exclusive we're offering tomorrow at 4 p.m. And we will publish our entire schedule on these different arenas by Wednesday at lunchtime. And we do have plans. I might tell you, here's the paperwork to prove it. Plans and plans. A whole track of educational panels, a multitude of live selling events, probably over 30, including these wonderful artists, educational panels by the best of the best, etc., etc. Prizes lunacy, more fun that you can have, the most fun that you can have, that's legal.
Nice. Now are you guys gonna have some promotional stuff that's gonna be going online, things you can tag us in? Because
Yes,
we can
absolutely.
post, we've got 2 more shows this week, one tomorrow night, and then we'll have another one Thursday. I mean, we can get it up and we can help promote it on the show for
Indeed,
for our next 2 shows. And if you tag us in anything you put online, I don't know if Jimmy's doing it, whoever you have doing it, or if all of you are doing it, throw us in a couple tags and we'll help push it on Twitter and Instagram and on Facebook as well.
Thank you. We'll do that.
Yeah.
And going to your coffin con is a hell of a lot better than going to any other coughing con.
No,
did you steal that from Blevins?
I gave him credit. Blevins. There you go.
There you go.
I agree with you, Brian. I don't think that's really a marketable name.
Now, on another note, perhaps a more somber note, today we lost one of the true legends of the industry, one of the true giants, one of the real sweethearts, real gentleman, a patriot. Mr. Alan Bellman left us today at 95 years young.
Yes. And
I don't know if you guys had met him, you ever had any experiences with him, but he is, he's really one of the greats.
He was such a nice guy. I mean, I saw him at a convention, said hi to him. I remember he was telling me that his book was coming out. And then I was like, oh, cool. And then when we started the show, Billy, remember?
Yeah.
You had bumped into him. He was like, oh, yeah, have Nile give me a call and have him email me. I emailed him and he gave me, no, give me a call. And, we spoke a few times, and like it started off about getting him on the show. And then he had his wife had a medical issue at the time.
Yeah.
And this was back when we started off. And then, I talked to him about 2 more times after that. And one conversation was just cool because we were just talking. He was telling me stories and things. And, it's a shame we couldn't get him on because that is one of our goals. Lunch with Legends is supposed to be, even if we have to go to them, like if they're in the Northeast and whatnot, we really want to capture.
Please do that.
A recording, because unfortunately we didn't make it to one on time.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're going to go see Joe Sinnott. We have to plan that.
Yeah. Get Ramita Sr. too.
Yeah. He's
Sal Buscema.
Got to go get, It'd be great to see Sal Buscema. Maybe go see John Romita.
Yeah.
See how they're doing and just have a conversation with them. People have to hear them, because you don't see video interviews with them.
No.
Aside from Stan, right? I mean,
well, Stan was, he was the conductor. He orchestrated so much stuff, but people need to learn about the guys that made the influence that might have said, hey, Stan, that's a stupid idea. Let's do this. And then Stan, gets to go with it. And, these guys created some amazing things. I mean, it was their hands that put the ideas to work. I mean, we got to capture, their stories while we still can because we're losing them.
I agree. My Alan Bellman stories are really simply observational. I got to meet him cordially at Denver Comic-Con in the green rooms, and I was also at a con that he was at in Las Vegas, held by Chandler Rice. And it was so sweet to see him and his wife. And my wife and I have been together 31 years, but Fran and I would just look and see how they're looking in each other's eyes, and their love for each other, and bring a tear to our eye because that's how we want to see ourselves when we get into our golden age. Well, but it's a real testament that what's neat too about Alan Bellman is for so many years he was not on the convention scene or really visible in the world of comic conventions. And it really was the last 10 years where he came back. And my other observation is that he seemed to really be enjoying himself. And I looked at him and thinking sometimes, we covet about our lot in life, but here was a man with his wife going out there, meeting people. And he seemed to really just be having a good time. So here's to 95 great years, man. Good for you. I wish, I hope I get to last that long. I really do.
And to be with the same, with the same person, the love of your life. And I mean, we would see them in the lobby of the hotel, and they're going to have dinner, right? And they're walking, and they'll come out of the elevator, and they were holding hands.
Yeah,
he's got his cane, and they're so holding.
Oh yeah, she dressed up. She cosplayed.
Yeah, she
cosplayed.
Yeah,
first time I met him, they were right next to me at a convention, and I had shame on me, but I had no idea who he was until I actually met him, and I was like, oh my God, this guy's like a legend in the industry that's kind of under the radar. But there she was, dressed as, this was about 4 years ago, dressed as Wonder Woman, cute as all can be. and they were a super sweet couple.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Now we just have now Old Cap has just joined the studio. He's backstage. Now we've had you guys on for an hour, but Old Cap, Jason, he's got some good stories of Alan. If you have time, please join us. If you don't, by all means, we know you guys are both very busy. But you know, we have had you on for an hour, so I don't want to hold you up any further.
Well, I'll tell you what, because I still have a lot of planning to do, I'm going to thank you so much, and I'm going to bid you a respectful and fond adieu. Maybe we will circle back and you'll hear a little bit more how it all went at the Coffin Comics Con online. So big up. Thank you so much for your support, guys.
All right.
Boom.
Thank you, Brian. Thanks,
Love you, man. You're the best. Thank you for coming on. We're gonna promote the hell out of it. And this is a great idea, everybody. This is a great idea. Go on.
We got to do a recap show after you do it. We got to talk about how it went.
All right, guys. Cool. Thank you so much for everything.
Have a good one, Brian.
Night, brother.
Have a good one, Marat.
You too, man.
Everybody let them know.
All right. So let's bring in Old Cap.
Old Cap will come on if he'll be able to come
Old Cap, how are you, sir?
Good evening, gentlemen.
How are you today, Old Cap? Well, it is a somber day.
But first and foremost, welcome to Crowdfunding Comics. It's your first appearance on the show.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
You know,
do you have any spirits with you, Old Cap?
I might have a 17-year-old single malt scotch here that I've cracked open in honor of Mr. Bellman.
You know what?
There
give me a second. I'm going to come back up with something too. Come on, Una. Come on.
He's going into the vault of spirits, as he calls it. Before he walks in, he dips his hand, he sign of the cross, and he grabs something a delicious to slurp down for everyone out there. So, Old Cap, how have you been? I haven't seen you.
One should always have a dram ready.
Yes, they should. Not me.
No, I haven't seen you since Baltimore last year.
Yes. How have you been?
Staying busy.
Excellent. Now, any new books? Anything that you've acquired recently?
Nothing other than just, standard regular subscription stuff. No big books recently, although I have gotten my second editorial credit with J.C. Vaughn's Vampire PA, A Bite Out of Crime. Oh, so that was a fun book.
That was a fun book. I like that. You know what? Hey, I love his Vampire PA books. They're really fun. And I don't know. He's been on the show, guys. If you go back to a couple episodes, you can see. But I hope he's working on some more stuff. I know he's got some other things underway. But for the viewers out there, Old Cap, if you want, just give a brief, just give us a brief description of your love of comics, how you got into comics, maybe how you met Billy. While we wait for him, because I don't know how long he's going to be.
I've been a comics fan for over 40 years. Got into it originally by collecting Star Trek and learned about Star Trek comics. So I started collecting those and got into DC. And you hear about Marvel zombies. Well, I'm a DC zombie. I collect everything that DC publishes, have runs going back into the beginning of the Silver Age with Batman, Brave and Bold, the entire run, the original Phantom Stranger.
Oh, cool.
So that is what led me into the DC war comics. And Sergeant Rock is what brought Billy and I together at a convention in Atlanta in 2010. Billy was there, and I had never collected sheep. I knew Billy's name because I'd worked in a comic book store, but I had collected the Sergeant Rock Lost Battalion series, and Billy had just come out with the hardback. And so at the show, I got him to autograph and sketch in a copy of the hardback for me. And while he was doing that, we discovered that Billy was in the Army, and I was a captain on active duty in the Army JAG Corps back in the 90s. And I happened to notice a print that he had on the table of she wearing the flowing pink kimono with the pink breast cancer ribbon on it. And ironically, and thankfully, both of our wives are safe and many years cancer-free now, but both Deb and my wife, Janet, were undergoing breast cancer at the same time and treatment, surgeries, etc. Both wonderful women who neither one of us would be where we are without. And I know Billy would say that for Deb.
Don't deserve.
Yeah, we both outkicked our coverage, as we say down here in the South.
I'm working on mine.
It led to an immediate friendship. We went to dinner that night and have been brothers ever since.
That's true. And I think I break out the old Glenfiddich 21.
Very nice.
Oh, nice.
This was a gift from Mark and Aileen Fanaris.
I'll have to talk to them as we're driving to Greenville. I don't think they've ever given me a bottle that nice.
Look at that.
It's not that much left.
Well, Aileen drank half of it when she came over. I'm like, you want that scotch? I'm like, yeah. Like, oh. So it's a beautiful box too.
It is a beautiful box.
Let's just put that.
You're gonna save it to put some bric-a-brac in?
I got too much. Too many. I got too many of them. So if we may, you got a drink, Scala?
I got my water. So I'm gonna cheers to that.
You want to get a beer or something?
No, I'm good.
Well, salute. Here's to
Alan Bellman.
Alan Bellman.
Alan Bellman.
Salute.
Absolutely.
Salute.
He's the kind of man we should have offered him a glass of scotch.
Yes. Such a nice guy.
I almost had to take him some scotch to calm him down in 2017.
Why? What happened?
Well, Heroes Con 2017, I was Billy's advance party. Billy shipped his display and some of his stuff to me because I was getting to the show early. I got there on Thursday. Billy was expected on Friday. And so I went to the space where Billy's tables were. And on the 3-table end cap, Billy was supposed to have the 2 tables on the left. And then there was another table on the right, someone I'd never met before. So I go in and I set up the displays in between, right at the center of Billy's 2 tables. And on Friday, I go back and had just gotten word that Billy was going to be late because of flight screw-ups and all kind of craziness. He wasn't going to get there until Saturday.
Yeah, the storm. The storm.
It was. And I put up a sign to the effect of, planes don't run on time like they did in 1944. Billy will be here tomorrow. And when I got there, I noticed that someone had taken up the center table and Billy's display was shoved over to the far left single table. And there was this kind old gentleman with his wife there wearing the colorful shirt with the Captain America shield and all. And I introduced myself to him, and it was Mr. Bellman and Roz, and just a wonderful couple. And I tried explaining that the 2 tables belonged to Mr. Tucci, at which time Alan got very upset,
to say the
feeling that he had been slighted by the show, that he deserved 2 tables. He needed 2 tables of space for everything that he had and the product that he had. And he started telling Roz, just pack it all up. We'll leave. Just pack it up. We're leaving.
He was cussing too, wasn't he?
He was irate. Does not do it justice. At which time, and Billy still wasn't at the show yet. He didn't get there until the next day. This was Friday afternoon. And so I assured Mr. Bellman to please be calm. Let me talk to the convention folks. And I went and found Rico and Carla. Rico's no longer with Heroes Con, but Carla Southern is fantastic, still with Heroes Con. She handles everything. She's the queen of the show. And between Rico and Carla, we were able to find another table for Billy and let Alan keep his 2 tables. And as I was going back to his now 2 tables rather than 1 to break the good news to him, I ran across Neil Adams. And I told Neil what had happened and how upset Alan was. And Neil put his arm around my shoulder and said, let's go calm Alan down. And between the 2 of us,
really upset.
He really was. I mean, he had packed up his little bag. His little bag that he had his art in, he had already packed it up and was ready to leave.
You're right. He's like, let's go home. That's it.
Neil and I got to his table, and between Neil and Roz and I, we calmed Alan down, and he spread out generously over now all 3 tables that he had. And so he was happy at that point. And on Saturday, when the immortal Mr. Tucci finally showed up to the show around 11 or 11:30, I think, when his flight finally landed, after getting set up and sitting there for a few minutes, he had to go poke the bear.
Oh.
And so we went to Mr. Bellman's table, where at point, Billy goes up and says, "Why'd you take my tables?"
Oh no.
Now, you know me, I don't care, right?
Yeah,
I don't give a shit, I don't
Hey, you're
care.
doing it in fun.
Yeah, so Old Cap told me and I was laughing about it. Like, oh, okay. So, like, you're the son of a bitch that took my table?
I think those are the exact words you said.
And he's like, no, I'm so sorry. And I felt so bad. You're my friend. My friend of all the people. My friend is here. But Billy, I get 2 tables. Know that. I get 2 tables. And I was just, for Christ's sakes, I was going to get out of here. And she's like, don't get upset. You're getting upset. It was so funny.
Oh, man.
I'm like,
That's horrible.
I'm just kidding around with you. And you got to think that's 2017, so that's 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
I'm 93 years old, you know what I mean? And he just wanted to pick me up.
He was full of piss and vinegar. I mean, all the way up to the top.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. He was hilarious. He was hilarious, though. And he was, what's cool, too, though? She was very, and it probably came with age. She's seen almost 100 years of stuff, right? I mean, he just really was like, everyone just stop fighting.
Oh, yeah.
That was his big thing. His posts were always very, just be happy, enjoy one another. I think he was almost really trying to let people know, hey, you only live once, just enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
There's no point for all this negativity. He would get pretty upset.
I would love to have heard what he had to say about coronavirus, considering how many supposed pandemics he's lived through.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Well, the thing is, I remember being on stage. It was Old Cap. It was Rhode Island Comic-Con, Veterans Day, 2016.
Correct.
And he was there. Now I think that's where we met him. Actually, we might have just met him around then, or maybe I didn't know he was a veteran. I didn't know he was in the Navy in the war, because that was the day that we gave Joe Sinnott and Stan Lee all the awards from all the branches, all the armed services. Well, we had, all the veterans, and we had the active duty sailors and active duty soldiers that were there and all. And but Sunday they had this panel for Stan, and it was Stan's last East Coast appearance, and I was on stage with Joe Sinnott and Alan Bellman, Stan Lee. You know what I mean? I think Mike Zeck was there. Yep. I'm trying to think. It was such a surreal thing, and I remember he said, "And let's make America great again." Because it was right at the election. He was a big Trump supporter. Yeah. And then Stan Lee hugs him and goes, "Okay, thank you, President Trump." That's it. But, God,
it was a fantastic weekend.
Oh, Jim Steranko, too, was on stage.
Oh, really?
Oh, what a day. We weren't friends in Scala? 2016?
2016, no, we weren't. But we did talk a couple times at conventions, because Frank's like, "Oh, this guy Tucci does great artwork, this and that." I was like, "What is this stuff?" Nah, I'm joking.
A Blevins experience that I was hanging out with. So you haven't met Blevins. Blevins says he's coming, Old Cap, to South Carolina, Greenville, South Carolina. And anyone who wants to know, Old Cap and I will be there on the 27th and 28th, I believe it is, of March.
The last weekend in March. And got to say, if you love true comic shows, if you love shows like Baltimore Comic Con, Heroes Con, South Carolina Comic Con is a fantastic 2-day show. Rob and Michelle Young do a terrific job. It's a lot of fun. And if you really want to get close to the creators, this is a show to do it at.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And the actors too. I mean, even like the green room, Scala, you got to see. It's the best green room I've ever been to at a con. But you're sitting there next to all the actors and the comic book guests all sit together. They all, you know what I mean? They all eat together. There's not a separate room. You love these shows. They call the Comic Cons, but as Larry Hama had said, the third zombie on the left from season from episode 10 of season 5 of Walking Dead. He gets to have this big grand, you know what I mean, cooked meal with a chef. And here's the comic book people, you know, including Scott Snyder and Capullo and you know, the big names, Todd and stuff. And we're sitting there eating sandwiches, you know what I mean, that they'll have, which is nice. You know, everyone likes a good sandwich. Who doesn't? But it's kind of insulting when they call something a Comic-Con and they treat the comic book creators as second-class citizens of it.
Yeah.
You know, but the Youngs do not do that.
No.
They have this massive green room, right? Real plush. And they've got everything from candy to candy to chips, to sodas, waters,
drinks, coffee,
pork. Right, I mean, they bring in this amazing barbecue.
The local queue is, I mean, it's a barbecue restaurant there in Greenville, and it's fantastic. They have pulled pork, pulled chicken, and white barbecue sauce. If you've never had it, it's a thing, and it's to be experienced.
Yeah, you might even see some of the vendors there too, like you know, Shelton Drum. You know, he's going to find himself a good green room. So, you know, there's Shelton, and Mark Nathan from Baltimore and stuff. I mean, we're all family at this point, you know, so it's great. So if you guys know, Old Cap, myself, Mark Fanaris, who got me the scotch back there, his lovely wife, Aileen, will be there. No Graham Nolan this year, though.
No, unfortunately, but we will be at certain times of the weekend imbibing a little bit of the aquavit.
Indeed. Indeed. So that's that. But that was the story I wanted Old Cap to tell because I missed half of it. He just told me, he was like, you don't understand. Oh, you didn't know who he was, right? You didn't really.
Not before I met him. I'd never know because, like I was telling Nile, you're all I'm a DC guy.
Yeah.
I had no idea who this Captain Marvel artist was.
Golden Age artist, and I thought he was going to have a heart attack or a stroke. He was screaming and cussing and get the F out, blah blah blah. And I'm like, oh my god, that's Helen Bellman. And then of course you and Neil Adams had to go calm him down. You got Neil, right? Or you saying you got Neil and Neil?
Ever since then, Neil's called me by my first name. So that was a good. I mean, I've known Neil now for 15, 20 years. But I've always been just one of those little irritating fanboys in line to Neil. But now he actually knows my name. It's kind of fun.
Well, there you
That's
go.
Cool.
Heroin Bird said TJ James Steranko has an art exhibit in Youngstown, May 3rd through July 5th. Road trip. I love it. Youngstown, Ohio, the home of Ray Boom Boom Mancini.
Boom boom.
He killed Dooku Kim in 1983, right? In the ring, 82.
Good idea, Kyle.
Killed him.
What's that? He killed him?
Killed him in the ring. Yep.
Really?
South Korean boxer.
Part of
he killed him. You know, it's just he like, you know, who knows how he hit him in the head, something like that. Blood, you know, aneurysm it can cause.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the risk, man. That's the risk in the ring.
From Youngstown, Ohio, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Well, imagine a dinner with Steranko, Spurlock, Herb Trimp, and Lee Weeks. Lee and Jim were talking magic. TJ James, what's he talking about?
What you talking
about? That's another story because Billy and I were supposed to have dinner with Steranko last year at the Greenville Comic-Con. And someone else swept in and stole him away from us at the last minute.
That's right. And we weren't invited to that.
We were not. We were highly offended.
And who was that? Bastard.
I'm not going to name names because it's another one of our friends.
He's one of our friends. He might be hosting a Comic-Con Father's Day weekend.
It's very possible. That could be the weekend.
And we are gluttons for punishment, so we're going anyway, ain't we?
Absolutely.
Not only did he ruin our dinner with Jim Steranko, but then again, he took Steranko into town to some place that wasn't great, and then we went to Chop House, right?
Yes, we went and had fantastic steaks.
That's right.
And
so
everything else.
We told Steranko, right? We said, you would have had a far better time with us.
Did you have to deal with him in Baltimore? Billy?
Steranko? No, not in Baltimore. No. I've had dinner with him, but not in Baltimore.
Well, I thought the first night you did. Or maybe you just you ran into him or something.
First night? No, we had dinner every night, Scala. And
we didn't.
Didn't we, Old Cap? Every night we had dinner in Baltimore.
We just had one
The
night.
only night that I didn't do dinner with you was Saturday night because I was at the Ringo's.
Yeah, Friday night. Oh no, that's what happened. Okay,
No,
Friday
Saturday night. Saturday night you were out. That's right, Billy. Because I went out with the other guys.
No, Friday night I was in. My friend died. My friend passed away, and the Yankees were playing, and I was just all depressed because my friend had passed away.
That was Saturday night.
My attorney passed away. Yeah, Saturday. I learned he passed away, and then the Yankee game. I didn't go out Saturday night.
No, you went out to dinner Saturday night with Storenko.
Was Friday
Or
night?
you met up with them at the same.
No, I didn't go.
No, that Friday night was the Greek restaurant. Saturday night you went out.
All right, fine. I went to dinner with Storenko and Jim Lee. I didn't want to tell you.
You were with Jim Lee. I was with Jim Lee.
You saw Jim Lee.
I was with Jim Lee.
Night, and you scared him.
I scared him. Yeah. I didn't know the guy doesn't like hugs and to be cradled. Telling him how great I thought his work was.
Just don't rub his head.
That's what I did. I was like, "Hey, little guy." No.
What? No, I don't remember. So I was alone. What did I do that night?
No, you weren't, because you met us at the bar Saturday night. You went out, but then you found out about your friend, and then the Yankees lost, and then you headed off to your room.
Yeah, that's right. I was shamed by all you guys. I actually had to sneak out of the bar.
Dude, you were there for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's right. Because it did, and then we learned those cheating bastards were cheating.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
I don't like cheaters, old cat.
Never
So
have. Never will.
You guys, so the Mopsy wants to know if either of us, and I don't, who's the oldest living legend in comics right now? Comic creator.
Larry Lieber?
I was gonna say Larry Lieber. Well, Sinnott is not, right? Is Sinnott in his 90s?
Joe Sinnott or Larry Lieber? Now Joe's
Sinnott's not as old as Lieber.
Joe.
No, he's not. I didn't think so.
Joe was a CB on Okinawa who got bombed and strafed by Japanese Zeros.
Lieber's like 93, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's a lot younger than, he might be 90.
90?
Let me see.
I don't know, dude, but we got to hurry up and get these guys recorded.
Joe was 93. He's born in 1926. Larry Lieber. Yeah, people have to hear these people, you know?
Me and Blevins are going to have to start hitting these cons and getting these guys recorded.
Larry Lieber was born in 1931, so he's only 88.
Really?
Yeah,
I thought he was in his 90s. I thought he was. No?
No, you got to think who else is up there? Joe. Joe's got to be the.
William Shatner's 88. Thanks, Blevins.
Whole another show because I don't know what we're going to do when Denver goes. That's going to be.
What's Dennis O'Neil? No, he's like 88, isn't Dennis O'Neil?
Denny O'Neil's a Vietnam veteran.
They're like, he's a 61.
Yeah, Denny O'Neil's young. He looks old, but
he does.
Denny O'Neil has the Don Rickles.
Yeah.
Like Denny O'Neil has looked 80 for the past 30, 40 years. You're like remember Don Rickles? When in the 60s, he's in all those movies, and Don Rickles is only like 35, and he looked the same as the day.
A buddy of mine posted on a comic site on Facebook today a cover of a Jimmy Olsen Superman's Pal comic that had Don Rickles on the cover, because Don Rickles in the comic met his fourth world alter ego, like Goofy Rickles or something, but it's too timely for you to be bringing that up. Billy, I just sent you a picture.
I know. I'm going to send that to Nile. I'm going to send it to Nile so we can post it.
Yeah, I'm technologically challenged here at home from a tablet, but the picture is Joe Sinnott wearing Billy's helmet that's signed by countless World War II veterans.
Yeah, after I have
I got you that case for that thing. I saw that. I was like, "Ooh, I got to get it."
Yeah, a friend of mine made me a Sergeant Rock helmet, and I got all World War II veterans to sign it. And that's right. So we brought it to Joe, and like, would you sign this? And it's all World War II veterans and one Korean War veteran. That Korean War veteran was Joe Kubert.
Yeah.
But I also just sent my personal little moment of fame that my good friend Billy was able to arrange. And again, I'm a DC guy, but I can't deny what Stan Lee has done for our industry. And
Oh yeah.
me on stage, shaking his hand, presenting him with an award from the American Legion. It was a high point of my comics collecting career.
Scala, I'm sending you that too.
All right. Email it to Crowdfunding Comics.
Oh, I can't just. I texted it to you. That's not good.
No, it's fine. I'll forward it so I can get it because I got to get it on the computer.
Yeah, with your Meritus Service Medal, huh?
Yep.
Look at you with the Meritus Service Medal.
I think I had some wings on in that picture too.
You got 2 wings. You got air assault wings and jump wings on it.
Yes, I do.
Damn, I knew I should have been an officer.
Yeah, but you worked for a living.
Yeah, but I could have been an officer. I could have been a multimedia illustrator officer. I could have ran that whole company.
Oh, yeah.
You would have had a lot more fun than what I did as an officer. I just put people in jail.
Yeah, nah. I didn't even know about that. So when I joined the Army, I the whole thing like, what do I want? I really thought it was between being a Marine or joining the Army. But I saw that beret, that maroon beret, and those jump boots, and that was it. I'm like, hell yeah, man, I want to do that. But what I didn't know is I had my bachelor's degree. I kind of said, you know what, I'm not going to join unless I go to OCS. Because my recruiter's like, well, once you get in, then you could become an officer. Nope.
Yeah, recruiters will lie to get whatever number they want to.
But I didn't even know. Hey, RT Bear's here.
RT Bear.
Scala, can we have RT Bear join us to see,
Sure.
I'm a little upset.
There we go.
There you go. Joe Kubert. Joe Sinnott. Look at that.
But Joe Kubert did sign the helmet, so that's a good point.
Joe did sign it. I can show you that helmet if you guys want to see it.
Yeah, sure. That's fine.
I never got Alan Bellman to sign the helmet.
Really? No. Well, we had hopes we were going to see him again, you and I.
Yes, we did.
Well, we had hoped to see him in 2.5 weeks. He was on the guest list for the South Carolina Comic Con before they announced about 3 weeks ago he wasn't going to be able to make it.
Well, he sent that message out to everyone on Facebook, and it kind of painted the picture.
Yeah.
But
either he had something and it came to a head, or they found something at its worst point.
Yeah.
But it was like, basically like, I love you all so much, but the doctor says it's time to go. And I was like reading it like, oh my gosh, this doesn't seem good.
Oh, is that
well? And I had horrible flashbacks today when I read the messages early this morning that he had gone into hospice, and then late this afternoon that he had passed, and it just it brought back the last day of Darwin Cook.
Yeah.
And they get taken from us too early, and talents like theirs are never to be repeated.
Absolutely. Hey, Nile, can we send Art through this to see if he'd like to join us? I don't know if he's busy.
He just has to reply.
Yeah. Art, we're going to send you a link to try to join us. Show the helmet, Mob Seat. You want to see it, Art? I'll get the helmet. Give me a second.
I'm getting an invite over to Art.
Nile, since you and I just met in Baltimore last year, what shows are we going to see each other at this year?
Well, I was going to go to, South Carolina, but I can't get enough coverage from it because I got the twin boys. They're just they're 19 months. And my wife, it happens to fall in the same week. Now, my wife, runs she's the head of the music department for the Board of Ed of the city we live in. And they have their big, what's called All City. So that's where every student in the entire city gets together at Wesleyan College, and they put on a massive concert. So for me to leave for 3 days isn't going to work too well because I can only get coverage for like 1 day because everyone's just out and about.
She's not going to be real happy having the twins dumped on her when she has all of that on her plate.
Oh, yeah, she can't because she won't even be home. Yeah. Even with these small productions they put on, they just put on Matilda, and she was gone all Friday night, all day Saturday, so we try to support each other, so
your boys will be 22 months old on Father's Day weekend, you could probably make Heroes Con.
Yay. That's right. I should be able to go. Maybe Blevins will go with me.
You and Blevins should go.
We should.
It's only North Carolina. Anyway, here's the hallowed helmet.
Here, let's bring you up. Oh, wrong one. Let's bring you up.
That wasn't me.
So here's the helmet signed. Now, the cool thing is I signed it too because I'm like, I'm signing this. I don't care.
Well, you've got to sign it because it's yours.
Yeah, see, there's Joe Sinnott. And all of these men that signed this is all I had the honor of being the keynote speaker to the 2009 442nd Regimental Combat Team's reunion in Las Vegas. And I brought this helmet and they all signed it. And these are all whatchamacallit? Japanese American, the majority of them are Japanese American heroes, including a few Medal of Honor recipients. And if you look, there's Joe Kubert, right?
Yes, sir.
Joe Kubert. Lawson Sakai is still with us, thank God. Lawson is an amazing man. These are all infantrymen. See this John M. Sakamoto? John M. Sakamoto of E Company, he is the one who his nickname was Mutt Sakamoto. And during the Battle of the Lost Battalion, he's the one of. So here's a quick story. There was Item Company, not E Company, Item Company, which is I Company. When they started the battle for Bruyères, they had 185 men. They fought through this battle. They got 1 day off, and then the Lost Battalion got trapped. The other American forces couldn't break through to them. So basically, the general said, "Send in the Japs." I mean, that's literally what he said. It was a suicide mission, and he sent the 442 to try to break through to the Lost Battalion and rescue them. Now, here's the Lost Battalion, which was 275 men surrounded by 7,000 Germans in the Vosges Mountains. And the 442 broke through to them. And Mutt Sakamoto, who signed this, who was in Hawaii, that this was sent, and he was able to a friend of mine sent it to Hawaii, and I had it sent back to me. He was the first to reach them, and Sergeant Eddie Guy ran down and hugged him, and he had said, he literally said, "You guys want any cigarettes?" And that was basically it, because these humble guys of the 442, these iron little men, they call them. But the sad thing is that when the 442 started that battle, old cap, of Item Company, that one particular company, the first one to reach the Lost Battalion, they started with 185 men. And when they reached the Lost Battalion, the first soldiers to reach the Lost Battalion, there was only 8 of them left.
Oh, wow.
They made a book called And Then There Were 8. And that's a story that these guys sacrificed so much for not only their fellow Americans, so fellow American soldiers' lives, but also for another's who were, the French, these people that were, that were fighting for their lives, these people that were, conquered. You know what I mean? They were fighting for another's freedom while their own families were interned behind barbed wire back at home. And these guys volunteered to fight because they were Americans and they loved it. They loved America. They believed in the ideal that was America.
Freedom.
And these guys are heroes.
It's a compelling story. If you haven't read it, you've got to read it. But the thing that makes it so much more special and important to me is it's the story that brought me together and gave me my brother Billy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, when I had this helmet, I brought it to Stan last. And Stan was like, where am I going to sign this? I can't sign this anywhere. And on the back, now, Sergeant Rock was an NCO, and on the back of every NCO helmet is a white horizontal band. So it's an identification marker so his men could see that it is. And I'm like, Stan, would you sign the band? So
look at that.
Oh, nice. What? That's incredible.
Isn't that awesome?
That's priceless. You do read like that is priceless.
Absolutely.
Gosh, yes.
I mean,
I
have a steel
on
pot.
that, Billy.
What was that, Art?
How many signatures are on that?
Oh, man, 40, 50? Hey, Art, how are you, brother?
Good. Thanks for having me.
I mean, I have some World War II paratroopers signed it. from Easy Company, Medal of Honors. Francis Steidel. He's a Vietnam veteran.
Yeah.
But he married one of the, and I forget who, forgive me, he married one of the daughters of one of the 442, one of the American, the Japanese American heroes. And he wrote the book, Lost Battalions. That was the inspiration to my book. And I contacted him and said, can I tell a comic book using, and he's like, yeah, sure. And he was so great. What a sweetheart. But he's a Vietnam veteran. I think he was an infantryman in Vietnam. And all these guys are infantry. All these guys are on darts like I was.
Billy, did you ever get Don to sign it?
Oh yeah, Don. I don't know if I got Don to sign this. I don't think I got Don to sign this.
You want Art to sign it?
He signed it.
He survived.
You know what we need to do?
We survived a serial killer.
We need to talk to Don's family because Currahee should be a graphic novel.
So are they all like infantry? Are they all army personnel, or are they comic book people as well?
Yeah, the 442 was the Japanese American 442. They were an infantry regiment. But now here's someone like this. I don't even know this is Bone. Oh, Bong. I guess that's Bong.
Bong.
So that's
Bong Daddy.
He was from Vietnam.
I got this signed over a decade ago.
Might be a pothead.
Good call now.
See, that's a millennial, old cat. Art, you see a millennial? That's a millennial right there.
Well, think about it. You say syphilis, you think World War II. You say bong, you think Vietnam. Korean War? I don't know.
It was the hippie generation, man.
Yeah.
Jimi Hendrix was the musical backdrop.
This is why
a hippie murdered R.T. Bear, a hippie serial killer.
Hey, Jimi Hendrix served.
He did.
He did.
Jimi Hendrix.
So did Das Blevins.
Airborne.
Das Blevins definitely did not.
Das Blevins is in the house.
I served myself something to eat a little earlier. That's about it.
Oh yeah,
you
yourself something to eat, or you had that?
Yeah, Das Blevins' father served though, right? Air Force.
I believe that it was Air Force or Army. I don't know.
Well,
I should probably ask him.
Well, there's a big difference, isn't there, old cat?
Yeah.
Well, you're sitting on his lap. Ask him.
Well, now, there is a giant difference depending upon the years. Because if he served in the Army Air Corps, he was a soldier.
No,
if he served in the Air Force, he was a civilian.
Yeah, his dad's young. Blevins is young. Did you mute Blevins, or did he mute himself?
He muted himself because he's probably asking his dad right now.
Okay. Hey, Art, tell us about what's going on, buddy.
Well, I heard you guys talking about Alan.
Yes.
So did he sign your helmet?
No, I never asked him to.
No, man. I know he was stuck. He was kind of a mainstay there for a while at San Diego in the Artist Alley. I met him there. And did you do that documentary? There was a documentary that they were filming a few years back, and they were getting a bunch of people from the SDCC to go. I guess they had a suite, and they were kind of interviewing people and getting takes on, the old guard, the new guard, where comics are going. And basically it was a tribute to Al Bellman.
No, they did not. What? Scala?
Wait a minute.
I'm feeling left out.
Now, I wish I was at my office. I could go get mine and put it on.
All right, I got one. I got another one. Hang on.
Oh,
I'm actually wearing the full outfit right now.
Yeah, but your full outfit is just the issued
full
side.
outfit.
I could go down to the basement and get a uniform, but it won't button anymore is the problem.
By the way, it was definitely Air Force from 1971 to 1974.
All right, salute. I got a general gave me this helmet.
Oh yeah,
sort of.
I know mine actually fits really well.
See,
there's dried blood on mine.
I don't think Billy's head's big enough.
Fucking man.
Billy looks like he's like wearing his dad's helmet.
Billy's got a baby head.
Mine fits perfect. It's
I know
pretty incredible.
It's good too. Now the funny thing about K-pots, what people don't know, a lot of people don't know, is that your K-pots not K-pots. That's what we had, old cat. These you didn't wear these when you're in battle. You couldn't wear these helmets.
No, you just wear
You'd have to wear it on in the back. Yeah. Now, if you're a paratrooper, then you have it like that. But when you're in combat, you couldn't, because the blast of a grenade would rip your head off. So you had to have it. It was just sitting on your head.
Yeah.
The iron pot would contain any concussive force of a grenade, so you had to have it where it could be blown off of your scalp easily.
Yeah.
I don't like this.
Now, Art, did you meet Alan? Did you have any experiences with him?
Yeah, for that documentary. Sadly, that's the only interaction I ever had with him. But he seemed like a really sweetheart, man, like a really nice guy. He remembered those stories like they were yesterday. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah,
He was a fantastic guy if you didn't steal his tables at a comic book show.
He had the whole row to himself, man. They gave him room, man.
Well, apparently your old pal Bill Tucci made that mistake. Well, I didn't. That Heroes Con did, but I was.
You just had a little fuel to the fire.
I heard it was Jerry Tucci that did it.
I think it might have been Jerry.
Well, you said 2016 is the first time you met him, Billy, in Rhode Island.
I think it might have been around that time. We became fast friends like that.
Yeah.
It might have been 2015. I'm not sure, but it might have been 2016, or I just didn't know he was a veteran. I think I did meet him earlier, but I didn't know that he was in he was in the Navy in World War II.
Is he the last now of his generation? Is there anybody? I mean, Stanley,
Joe Sinnott. You have Joe Sinnott for sure.
Larry Lieber.
Yeah, I think Larry's too young for World War. Larry's too young for World War II Korea.
Are you talking like Golden Age artists or just?
Yeah, I was kind of talking Golden Age artists. Yeah, in general.
Yeah, I don't think there's too many left, right?
Yeah, I think you're right. Sinnott.
Robbins is older, but Trina's the 60s. You know,
She didn't fight.
She's kind of Neil Adams' age.
Yeah, Neil was young when he got in too, so he kind of defies his time.
Yeah,
because he was like a kid when he broke in.
Well, Art, I got to tell you something.
Uh-oh.
Over here, Chrono Mechanics retrofit, brother.
Hells yeah.
Hells yes, in demand. And homie, you've gotten over almost 10 grand in demand.
In demand, yeah. We're on fire. We made a few backers. Got a few backers today. We just added a new tier, which is you can own a piece of history. So you can own a sketch from the actual book and the development of the book itself. So they're only $20, and they're just like rough. You know how like Billy, when you're developing things, you're just kind of sketching things out, and you got them all over your drawing board, you got them all over your office there. So I put them all together and organized them, and there's quite a bit of them. So I was thinking it might be neat for people to see some behind the scenes, you know, what goes on to build a comic, not to just see it, but to actually own it as well. Yeah. So Chrono has a work in progress sketchbook. And some of those drawings are going to be in the sketchbook. So you could actually buy the sketchbook and own some of the drawings that are in the book. So I thought that would be fun.
Yeah, you know, I gotta tell you, Art, I love those rough sketches. I love roughs. I love going back to the old Disney, you know, the pencil, you know, the penciled animation before the ink and paint girls got to them, what they call them. The ink and paint. You ever see like the pencil animation of Snow White and things like that? Have you ever seen that?
Dude, I own some. I own Andreas from.
Of course, Art
Aladdin.
owns it.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It's like Jafar drawing
Art.
3 of them in sequence.
We got it.
Like
he has his cowl on
you're
right
just
now.
giving me stuff here.
He has his cowl on.
Yeah, Batman cowl.
He's wearing his cowl, his boxers, socks, and now he's looking at his Snow White pencils.
Well, dude, I don't have any military helmets. I don't have no army helmets. Although my dad had one from Korea that he had for a long time. But sadly, when he passed, when you go through the house and you see, and he had his rifle, his single bolt action rifle, but he did not have his helmet anymore. But I remembered as a kid, because he used to say we'd eat out of, because it's got a lining. He said we used to just eat out of the lining and stuff like that. So he'd tell me stories.
I like
helmet liner.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, you can eat it up.
Here's your liner, right? So you wear that. That's like with patents all shiny.
Yeah.
And then here's your pot. And that's what you everything at it.
That's where you shit and throw up.
Well, Old Cap's a lot older than me. So when Old Cap was in, they had to use these.
Well, ours were actually made of leather. That's how old they were.
Like his leather football helmets.
They didn't protect anything. They gave you a false sense of hope.
Old
The bullet would just go right through.
Exactly.
Old cap charged San Juan Heights with Theodore Roosevelt, didn't you?
Yeah.
Bully, old man.
Bully, that is bully.
Don't talk about collecting with art. He owns everything.
I know.
He's just
I
like
only
the Highlander. He gets things because he was there.
Yeah, I own one of everything. Yeah, I'm like the collector.
So
I don't know. Dos Blevins may be the collector.
Collector.
I do have a lot of stuff that I collect.
He's the collector.
Nothing that's
But Billy
amazing
knows
what
in
art
the day. Oh, I'm sorry. I was gonna say Billy knows in the day that there was some crazy money, so we bought crazy things. We indulged.
I bought a Viper. No, I didn't.
You did too. You bought a
Like,
Viper.
Bob Liefeld bought a Viper.
That's a pretty weird flex there, Billy.
No. Rob Liefeld bought a Viper.
I drove it.
Two Vipers.
Okay,
Of course, Art drove it.
the Viper. Oh my God.
With his Batman cowl.
Yeah.
Or Catwoman. Maybe it's Catwoman.
He's like, while I drove it, some Disney animators gave me some actual sales.
Yeah.
And then Billy, you bought that
Art the one upper T-Bear.
the one upper T-Bear. Yeah, but then Billy, I mean, you rented an Intrepid to fly your F-14 off of.
Yeah.
Yes, twice.
Twice.
Well, here's an interesting story. So, I threw a party on the Intrepid to launch a comic book, but when I got there, when they got the SR-71 Blackbird, right?
Wow.
And that it had since been retired, but there were only two, and this is 1990, late 95, early 96. And there were only two SR-71 Blackbirds flying at the time. This was the Air Force. He was a colonel. He wasn't he was like a lieutenant colonel who was in charge of putting this plane on the deck of the Intrepid. And I'm like, what, really? They have two left? He's like, yeah, there's only two flying. And they were owned by NASA or whatever they do, at least by NASA.
Yeah.
And I asked why, and he said they're used for UFO investigations. So if they get a call, now I don't know if he's lying to me, messing around with me, is this young
but
guy?
UFO can be anything. It doesn't necessarily mean little green men,
Yes, it does, Art. It's always
It absolutely does.
We know that you have a UFO, Art.
Yeah,
I have an alien, Blevins.
Hey, my son Matthew, Mateo, can you bring me a beer? It's downstairs outside the sliding door in the backyard. My boy is on.
Do not want scotch and beer, Billy.
All right, now, Art. Let's all calm down. Let's go back. Your pal Rob Liefeld, or Bob Liefeld, as you call him, pulls up to your house with a bright red, smoking hot 1992 Dodge Viper V12, right?
Yeah, V12.
And you're like,
dude,
holy shit! And he says, "Would you like to drive it, Art?" And you say,
"No." I didn't. No,
so
I drove it.
Forced you to
I drove it
drive
out of the driveway and up the street. Yeah. I don't even think he drove it much, to be honest. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Didn't he go through two of them? Didn't he crash one and then he went and got another?
I never heard that, but I know that Jim Lee had a Acura. I forget what it was.
NSX. Yeah, I was in that. I didn't drive it. I was in it with him. I went for a ride with him.
And we went to we went out to dinner one night, just like Denny's or whatever. And Rob and Jim had a race to see who could get to the Denny's quicker. And so Jim had his Acura, and Rob had his Viper.
Jim won, didn't he? Because Jim,
yeah, he did.
Wait,
I figured Jim won.
He has to win at everything.
Yeah. Matthew, go get
winner.
Catering underwear. Go get it for me, please.
What?
Yeah,
Bring one for me too.
I'm talking to my son through the YouTube to bring me up a beer.
Oh.
Man, we should have got Marat back on if we were going to talk about Rob's Viper.
Wait, you guys had Rob on the show?
Yeah, we had Rob on earlier, but Bill Evans.
No. Marat was
talking about Rob.
Marat.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't think I can ever get Rob on the show. I tried. Yeah,
I think Rob won't. I'd love to have Rob on, but
but I think with the controversy with his, because we're crowdfunding comics and the controversy with his Kickstarter, I don't think he would come on. If it was really successful and everything was fulfilled on time and he had a few more under his belt, we probably could. But I don't think
we had one guest on, and that was a very volatile show, Scala, if you remember.
I definitely remember. It was like the first show that I actually admin.
No, we're not talking about that one.
Oh, really?
Really?
Who was the guest?
I don't think it was that one, and it was very. Let's just say that super chats were coming in and stuff, and he had suggested, well, why aren't you having? You seem to have a certain type of people on your show, and why are you having person A or person B or person C on your show? And Nile and I were like, those people haven't fulfilled their campaigns in 3-4 years. You want us to bring them on? I'll bring them on, and we'll ask them. We'll, and that kind of ended that. So
we're going in a newer direction now, Art.
Yes. Yeah, and Art, that's all things that we want our show to grow, and we want to have this to be really positive. We can't hurt our show by having our friends on. You know what I mean?
Right.
And we want to have our friends on, of course, but there are certain people that are feuding with other people publicly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're just we're gonna get destroyed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not helping.
The mail we got from having certain people on the show, like Nile and I don't talk about this, but we get messages, we get DMs, we get PMs. You know what I mean? We get the message to emails and stuff like that.
The Twitters.
Yeah, the Twitter, and people are pissed. You know what I mean? And why didn't you fucking do this? And like, you know what? That's not worth it. Let's just be positive. Let's have fun. Let's talk about good shit, good comics, people putting out their books.
We're not a one-sided
even if you try to stay clean, the shit's still gonna find you.
Oh yeah, exactly.
We don't want. Yeah, but it's just like someone's openly feuding with someone. You just tweeted like 10 times about it today. Well, not only that though. Like this is a real ad hoc show. But like Nile and Frank Amazing work really hard, and they're booking guests all the way into May already. Late May. Are you into June yet?
We do have some guests in June.
Yeah. So someone like, hey, can I come onto your show this week? And we're like, oh. But then again, I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, mate, sure.
I just did that this morning.
Nile's like, are you freaking kidding me? I gotta.
Not about you, Art. Don't worry, that wasn't about you.
No, it wasn't about you, Art, at all.
No, it wasn't about you, Art.
Well, that was me bringing Ron Randall to Billy last year to get the two of you together.
Man, Ron Randall,
fantastic stuff.
Wow! Oh my gosh, his book, The Trekker.
Yeah.
I've been a Trekker fan since the first appearance in Dark Horse Presents back in the early '90s. Ron's just a fantastic guy.
Yeah, I worked with him a lot on this is my one-upper story on on Doom Patrol.
Hang on, let me fix the screens, Art. There we go.
There we go. Again, Art.
I own everything and I know everybody. Jason. This is what you learn about me.
My wife really liked that dinner you took her on.
I still don't have my beer, Billy. What's your kid getting us beer?
I guess I'm drinking scotch. Mr. Bellman deserves. I deserve this scotch for being friends with such a giant. So how is that, Old Cap? I've never had that.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's a wonderful, smooth Speyside single malt, which Speyside is my region. Your Glenlivet, your Glenfiddich, but it's one of the smaller distilleries, Craylocky, and they're 17-year-old. It's fantastic. This bottle actually was a Christmas gift from my wife last year.
Oh, very nice. Now, Art, did you have any Alan stories, or were you just listening along?
No, he told the one.
When I went to get my helmet, right?
Yes, about San Diego.
Yeah,
you missed it.
It was such a great story too.
Oh man,
it was
very, very memorable.
Damn it!
No one remembers it. It's gone.
Now missed it.
Well, while we're at it, why don't you let everyone know? Can we throw a link in? Hey, TJ, can you grab or Blevins? Well, Blevins, you're on.
Where's Frank Amazing tonight? I haven't seen anything.
Where's Frank? Can somebody throw a link to Chrono Mechanics?
Oh, please. Thank you.
Art, what do you have?
He's in demand.
Yeah, but Art's got something else coming out, and we're gonna bring him on. Did you get my message?
Yeah, thank you. So this Friday, right?
No.
Friday.
Oh no, you said next week, right?
Next week, yeah.
Next week, yeah.
Friday.
Yeah, it was just
Oh, you guys are booked Friday.
I'm gonna be half in the bag, babe. I can't come Friday.
Half.
Okay.
I'm gonna be all the way in the bag.
I wish I had some scotch or whiskey now.
Oh.
Gee.
Well, that's the good thing about capitalism, because as Ron Swanson says, capitalism, God's way of determining who is smart and who is poor.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I'll tell you what.
And when it comes to scotch, it's old capitalism because I always have scotch.
Thank you, old Cap.
I've never drank a day in my life, but I promised you I'm gonna have a drink with Billy Tucci when I see him in Greenville.
Coming?
Shit.
Yep, never drank a day in my life, but I'm gonna have my very first drink with Billy Tucci.
Well, Billy will take advantage of you.
I don't believe it. He said drink. That could be anything.
Thank you, Good Ideas Comics. You're a good man. Now,
No,
Blevins.
I want to be there if it's an alcoholic beverage.
I look forward to pouring that drink for you, Doss.
Indeed.
Nice.
Now, Dos Blevins.
Yes.
We'll have that scotch. Have you had a cigar?
Nope. Never smoked, never drank.
Whiskey bar.
Dude, it's going to be like, what was that? Wedding Crashers. He's just going to be like...
I'll tell you what, this whole thing has been an experience for me because, like when Nile was going to go, he was saying how he couldn't find somebody to watch his kids. And I was like, just hire a babysitter. I didn't realize that, like, you can't actually hire a babysitter for babies. And I'm like, man, like, I don't have any kids. You can't have, like, why do they call them babysitters if you can't have them watch babies? Like, I don't know. It just threw me off.
It makes
That's a typical thing, right, Art? That someone has never had kids. No. So, Blevin, we will give you your drink and your cigar right outside our hotel, right, old Cap? The weather's usually balmy, very nice. We'll be sitting right outside. They have a nice smoking section. Well,
Nice.
no, they don't. They have this. We don't go to smoking section. We just
It's an area that you're not allowed to smoke in, but we always do.
We always do because no one's going to tell us not to. So
they're not cigarettes either. It's a upgraded cigar. So
they're just blunts, Blevins. It's just a couple blunts.
Just a couple blunts.
Just a couple blunts.
No, we don't do
Cigars.
we don't do any. We don't do any of that reefer.
No wacky weed.
That's right. We don't.
No reefer madness.
We're like Muskogee. We're the Muskogee crew, the Okie from Muskogee crew.
Just whiskey and cigars.
Whiskey and cigars. Now, let's get back. I'm sorry about this. Art, Chronomechanics, right? You're now in demand. You are verging. You're closing in on $35,000.
Yes.
To retrofit. Can you give us a little insight? Right, we'll post a link to it. Thank you very much, TJ. Where you're at with the campaign? I know you got some really cool things going up now, like original sketch art and stuff. But please, the floor is yours, my friend.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, Chronomechanics Retrofit, they do more before the dawn of time than most people do all day. These guys are not slackers, man. This is a celebration of the knuckle busters out there, the people that keep the world running smoothly, so like your the guys that run your high tension wires, your heating, your road repairs, your automobile service, departments, all these people that are keeping, our world working smoothly. It's a celebration of them. And I think especially in this day and age, they get a little less attention. There's so much focus on the tech industry and getting, like a college education so you can be part of the tech, world, that we forget that there's average people out there just fixing things so our lives can be better. So my dad was always one of those knuckle buster, kind of guys. He worked for the Navy. He repaired, naval vessels. And when I was a kid, I got to walk on those big old flat tops and the destroyers and stuff like that in the harbor. It was pretty cool. It's a great way to grow up. So I never forgot that, him coming home with, busted up hands and stuff like that. And so I thought, like, it'd be cool to do like the super fantastic meets the mundane. So these guys are fixing things time is literally in this concept of big machine. It's a nuts and bolts cosmic clockwork machine. And so it's old, it's ancient, so it breaks down quite a bit. So there's a company called Chrono Incorporated, which is a repair and maintenance company, and they hire people throughout time to repair and maintain the machine. So this story focuses on Team 9.2 of Sector 7, and they are the best of the best repair team that Chrono Incorporated has. So they only tackle the big jobs and the crazy jobs. So this story focuses on them and their adventures in repairing time. So it's basically just kind of their pain in the ass job. You know what I mean? They save the world every day by doing what they do, but nobody even knows they exist, and no one even really understands. Even if they knew, they wouldn't understand what, you know, their world is. So I always thought it was kind of cool. You know, and it's a neat celebration to people like my father and people like that. So that's kind of the crux of it. So like we were talking, I got the mystery sketch, which is, you know, where you can own a piece of the developmental artwork for the book. And then we just added 3 new stretch goals to the campaign. And those stretch goals are at 35K. My friend, I met this, you know, Billy knows, there's so many cool people in comics, and a lot of people you meet at these shows and stuff, they don't just do comics, but they're fans, but they do other things like Hollywood people or sculptors or toy people, things like that. And I met this guy, and he was a screenwriter, or he is a screenwriter, and he wanted to adapt Chrono Mechanics as a screenplay. So he wrote a screenplay a couple years ago, and I thought it would be fun at 35K to give out to everybody that's backed the book a free PDF of the movie script, 116 pages, written by Matthew J. Hillary and myself. So that's one of the stretch goals we just added. At 35.5, we got an upgrade. So we're going to go from a saddle stitch spine to a square bound. And then at 40K, we are going to have the golden time card. And the golden time card, I love these things because you can be so themed with them. Yeah. And the golden time card is just like the old school time cards. Remember when you guys had your Joe jobs and you'd get to work and you punch your time card and then put it in with the rest of them. So this is kind of like the Willy Wonka golden ticket, but it's a time card. And so 1 out of every 10 book will have one of these cards inside of it, meaning 1 out of every 10 backers will be able to get a free drawing. So if you fill out your time card, send it back to me. I will do a drawing for you and send that to you without additional shipping or anything like that. So that's just a nice way of thanking everybody if we can get to 40K. And thanks, guys, for letting me do my spiel.
You'll get to 40K. Now where are we at with the book? When do you think you guys are going to go to print with it?
Oh, the book is done. The artwork is done. The pencils, inks are done. My wife and I are putting the final touches on the writing. So we're working with Jeff Eckleberry, which is our letterer. And I think we're about 20 pages away from finishing the color. So we're over halfway done on that. So we're hoping to wrap everything up by the end of this month and then going to print.
You should take your script to Blue Sky Studios.
What's that?
Blue Sky Studios. They do like all those 3D animated movies and stuff.
Oh, didn't they do what was that Despicable Me stuff?
Blue Sky, no.
The Minions?
They did what's that?
Is he talking about the Minions, Blue Sky?
Yeah,
Blue
they did.
Sky's not Minions, is it? No.
The animation company?
Yeah, here in Connecticut.
They're in Connecticut? Oh, that's
they're in Greenwich.
Scala, what?
Greenwich, Connecticut, right there. Blue Sky Studios.
Scala has everybody near him.
He knows everybody.
Scala lives in Scala's.
Well, they just did The Spies in Disguise. That's with Will Smith and
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland, yep.
Ice Age was their big
Ferdinand. One. They did Ice Age was their big one. They did Charlie Brown. Let's see.
They do all the don't they do the Dr. Seuss stuff too?
Yep. Yeah. Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, they did the Horton,
Yeah.
Man, I got a great idea for the sequel. Like you can have the machine get a malware and you can call it the coronavirus.
Oh.
And then have nobody buy it. Well, I have something fun. I live in a city. It's called Corona, and we have a city newsletter, and people are driving around the city instead of through the city because they're kind of silly. They think maybe this was the epicenter for the coronavirus.
That is amazing.
That's silly. Now, what do you have coming up? What are we launching next?
Oh, I'm following in Billy's footsteps. I'm doing a black and white Vampirilla crossover like he did with She, and I'm actually looking at your campaign, Billy, for as a template.
Don't. It's not
You
my
did well,
campaign.
man.
That's their campaign. They just launched it. So I gave them all the information. I did the art, sent it to them. They asked me to make a video. I made a video of me drawing. I had my cameras, my camera set up, of me sketching the cover, all that jazz. I sent it to them, right? Gave them all little things, talk about it. I'm like, hey, I'm Billy Tucci doing this, blah, blah. I don't hear from them. And then I get an email from them, and I opened it up at 4 p.m. And the email was from 12 p.m. and it said like 3-4 hours earlier. It said, okay, we're live. Can you share this on your social media? So
we were upset.
This was all them. This was all Dynamite. And I was furious.
We were flipping like pancakes on a griddle.
There was no countdown, nothing. And we ended up doing well, but I think we did 35. I don't know what we did, but they killed it. This could have been so big and they blew it. And I was pissed. So
well, you didn't build the campaign, right?
No,
they're making me build the campaign.
No, you got to put it all together. They have to have in 5 days, 4 days, 3 days, 2 days, 1. You have to make the announce. You know what I mean? You have to make the announcement.
The countdowns, yeah.
The countdown. Yeah. You have to let people know. When you tell me you're live, and you don't even tell me you're going to tell me you're live the day before or something. But you're like, okay, we're live. Can you share this?
Well, we had a whole plan to promote it and everything, and they launched it.
Yeah, remember?
You called me like these. We even emailed them. We emailed them the plan.
And then
my plan is to come out with it, and it's like a Hail Mary, prayer. I'm just throwing the football, towards the end zone, because I have done very little preparation as well. So as far as I've gotten is contacting you guys to do a show next week.
But make sure they share it. If they're asking you to do promos, make a little promo piece, 5-day countdown, 4-day countdown, 3-day countdown. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have the artwork. You want me to share?
You know what I mean? You've got to look at him. Look how he constructs it. Look what Brian Pulido does, how Brian does it,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, let me tell you something, TJ, about Miss Fury. I am definitely going to make sure they do it right by Miss Fury, because if they don't, I'm going to do her myself. And that's that.
It's about time. We sat up all night at Dragon Con 2 years ago talking about that. Yep. And Miss Fury needs to be done, even if you have to do it yourself.
Yeah. So we'll do it. And I love them. And I really do. I love them, but they got to do it right. And if not, then you do it yourself.
Is that going to be your next campaign?
No, my campaign, I'm doing all She for this year. Dynamite will do the Miss Fury campaign.
Okay.
But they've got to do it right.
When are they doing that? Is that later this year or is that next year?
And if not, you know what? I will pay you back for the first for the 3 covers I did, and for whatever advertising you did with Diamond initially, and whatever you did for my cover rate. I'll pay you back, and I'll do it myself, and I'll give you a royalty, and I'll do it.
Because I got a good lawyer you can talk to about working all that out.
I need a good lawyer. I need an army lawyer.
It's a good guy. I'm sure you can work it out.
Oh, I love him. Oh yeah, I love it. It's just that he's just so busy, and what it is when he doesn't do it and someone else does it over there. So
yeah, I'm working with Jay. Does that ring a bell? Yeah,
Jay's great. Yep, Jay's great.
Until he's not. No.
Oh my God.
Until you don't have time for a countdown.
Well, Scala, in your is it your tweet or my tweet? But Brad Metzler liked it about Alan Bellman.
Really?
Yep.
So it's probably your tweet.
Yeah, it might be mine.
So you guys have not heard about this documentary with Alan Bellman?
I had nope. Nope.
He was filming something not too long ago.
I'm going to Google search this after I
What?
check out of here, because
let's Google search it now.
this was a couple years ago that they were filming. It was a documentary crew, and they were doing a whole documentary on him because he was the last of that breed of comic book illustrators.
Maybe he's the last to have worked at Timely.
I don't know, but they made it sound like that. Well, what did we say? There's only one other that's still, around and kicking. So
Archie, right? Oh, I'm sorry. You meant one creator. Yeah, I don't even know if Joe Sinnott was working for them back then.
So he doesn't even date that far back.
Well, Joe Sinnott was after the war. He came in, but Joe Sinnott's he's up there. He's a World War II veteran. Your boy Rob Liefeld posted that both conservatives and liberals don't care for me much because I live in the middle. Third party guy.
No politics, bro.
And then Vanita Rogers, who's amazing.
Bro. We don't talk politics, bro.
Oh, please do not talk.
Hey, Scala, did you get my?
We don't talk politics.
I will
bro.
have to. Yeah, we don't. I don't. I'm
reading.
Searching my Twitter feed for the thing.
And then Tommy said he had SpaghettiOs today, and he liked it.
And there's no SpaghettiOs talk here on the show.
And no SpaghettiOs talk.
Whoa. Slow down. Wait, who's Tommy about the SpaghettiOs? Because I have to tell you something. If I may have a confession here, the crowdfunding confessions.
He only eats
you
meatballs.
I love Scala. We're Italian. I love SpaghettiOs with meatballs.
I do too.
I love them.
I love them too. There's got to be so much.
Not have, and my wife's German, Polish, Lithuanian, and mean, and she will not let me have them in the house.
You know why? Because there's like a ton of sugar in those things.
They'll kill you.
Oh my!
Yeah, they get diabetes.
I do like the meat. I do like the meatballs in them.
Yeah, but the hot dog ones are great too.
Yeah, but it's not like any real
hot dogs
meat.
don't taste like hot dogs
that they cook. And
I like the beefaroni.
Beefaroni?
Just do not use Vienna sausage, please.
No,
do not.
I don't know what that is, but it's gross. Vienna sausage.
It's cat.
Some kind of pale meat.
Levin told me it was cat wieners.
Oh my! I got to turn Twitter off. Will Adams is losing his mind again.
Steele never said that.
Losing his mind. All right, I got to turn.
Levins didn't say that. They're not cat wieners.
Oh, all my friends are talking about politics. Oh my God.
Hey, Scala, did you get my message about the confirmation?
No, I didn't look at your message yet.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
Okay, don't say anything yet though, because I want to make sure I get everything coordinated.
I didn't, but it's.
I'm assuming I know what it is though, because we talked about it earlier. So I'm assuming that's what it is.
Yeah, it's great.
It's that, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm back on hungry right now.
So Tony Danza's really going to come on the show? Oh no, I slipped.
Tony Danza?
Tony Danza?
Who's the boss? It's not Tony Danza.
He is the boss.
I wish it was.
Well done.
I wish it was Tony Danza.
Tony Danzig.
Angela.
Tony Danzig. It's Danzig's little brother.
Danza.
Yeah, it's Ted Danson.
All right, well, listen, it's 11:16 p.m. My wife is in Costa Rica with all her college roommates, and I want to prank call her right now.
Well, you should do it on the chat.
All right, let's do that. All right,
he doesn't want to prank call. He wants to be like, I miss you.
No, I miss you.
I
don't want to say that.
No, I've been on the Billy end of many of those conversations. It's not that.
No, I love her. I was watching Pat Benatar videos all, because I miss her.
I was like, so when are you gonna start missing your wife? And then he's like, you.
Oh my God! Right? Like what? Exactly what he said.
No, Billy is like I am. He missed her the moment she left.
Yeah, but I didn't think about it. Scala said, "Hey,
here she gonna start missing her. She's gone for a week.
You got to stop using sex as a weapon."
I know it's a powerful
I didn't get that song yet. I got to shout on the night, and
he put her T-shirt on their body pillow so he could cuddle with it at nap time.
No, I gotta get the video going. Let me get the video going. She's on WhatsApp for some reason, because down there I have to do the WhatsApp.
Well, yeah, because the service it's online based. Trust me, you don't want your bill if she doesn't.
Yeah. I know, but I just want to call her. So how do I call Deborah on the WhatsApp?
Billy's like this.
Oh,
house
Doug
is so
Merkel.
empty.
Doug Merkel. You know Doug, right? From Heroes.
Yeah.
What's the backdrop? This is also a
Happy.
question, but this is bugging me. The little landmine things that are floating around the
It's the
screen.
coronavirus.
Coronavirus.
Those are coronavirus.
Would you
yes.
like me to? Would you like me to change the background art?
Yeah,
You seem to get everything you want.
I still.
yes, I
I'm-
want that.
Niall, I'm tired of calling it the coronavirus. We need to just call it the Kung Flu.
Are you tired?
I don't like this one.
Oh man, now I'm. Oh, there you go. Now I feel like I'm trapped. I'm in.
Here we go.
Now you're stuck in my basement.
Call.
We're waiting. We're waiting, Billy. We're waiting.
I want to go to bed, Billy. No.
All right, I want to go to bed. I'm breaking walls in front of everybody, you know?
I'm gonna break
some balls.
I'm gonna break some balls.
I love you, sweetie. Click.
Dude, how fucked up if someone's like, hello?
Oh, my God.
Oh, man. What would you do?
It's like that Pink Floyd, The Wall.
I'd be like, bitch, give me my
Oh,
wallet.
wait. Billy,
Also,
you
it's
called
just like-
me. Stop.
Someone's like, hello, senor.
Some guy named Javier.
What?
Hello, senor.
I have strong hands,
Hello,
senor.
Puto.
She's
I'm
in good
from the
hands,
north.
little blonde man.
All right, listen, this is a great show. Guys, please go out there, support RT Bear. All right?
Support
give us
Artie
your last-
Bear.
Give us your last pitch, bro, for Corona Mechanics.
It is the best book you will ever buy. It is funny. It is wild. It is wacky. It is one of a kind. You will not see artwork like this. You will not see a story like this. So if you want complete originality, pick up this book, please. And I think we're going to keep it open until we go to print. So a month or so, and then it will be gone.
So wait, you can now for creators out there, Indiegogo, as long as you're fulfilled, you made gold and you're in demand, you can start another campaign, or do you have to not be in demand?
Yeah, technically, kind of like what Billy did with She and Vampirilla. That's like Dynamite.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So I should be okay. I'm hoping. I don't need any controversy.
All right.
No controversy.
Nice.
I'll say this to you online tonight, Art. I shared a link to it to myself so I can check it out tomorrow and hopefully get on board. Hadn't seen it before, but it looks good.
Oh, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. And nice meeting you, Jason.
It's old Cap.
Same here, absolutely.
Old Cap.
Yeah, and Das Blevins, is that how you say your name? I see you in the chat all the time, and you crack me up.
My name is Brian, but yeah.
Brian's one of our producers. Brian's one of our producers. We've
I
expanded.
owe you a call. I will call you tomorrow, brother.
I'm the one that kept messaging you on Facebook trying to buy a piece of original artwork from your 90s X-Men run.
All I have is 3 Wills Protastio pages. That's all I have left.
I mean,
And there are 5.
He's like, I mean, how much do you want for him?
I only
Is that what you
one. I only need one.
Art wants them all.
Yeah.
I have them all. I wouldn't mind selling them, but they got to be the right price, man. Hey, Billy, do you have any
Has your
like
goatee grown back yet?
What's that?
Blevins, has your goatee grown back?
Yeah, absolutely. God,
All
it looked so bad. I didn't leave my room. Like, it was bad.
Blevins shaved his goatee and it was a disaster.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't
Well,
go
because I was
outside.
sick. I was sick for a month, and they're like, "You need to do this," and I'm like, "Why?" And I had to think about like, what do I want? Do I want to feel better or have a goatee?
I was going to ask Billy.
I grew mine when I left
beard
the
out,
Army.
but Billy's got a good jawline, so he still has a good jawline. He doesn't have to hide with the
Art,
beard.
I can't grow a beard, bro.
Really?
Yeah, I shaved Friday night, Saturday morning. I shaved, and that's
Wow.
my face.
Not even a 5 o'clock shadow.
I can't see. So that's Saturday morning,
You still have all the hair on top of your head, so that's good.
and I have and more importantly, though, I don't have any. Knock on wood. And no offense, old Cap, you silver fox. I have no gray yet.
Nice.
But my cholesterol's high, so I have to change my diet. My doctor told me.
As soon as you change your diet, it'll all go gray.
Great. Oh well. Then I'll be a silver fox. Like
Hey, what? For me here in the South, once mine all went gray, my wife let me buy a seersucker suit, so I look like the old Southern gentleman lawyer. I love it.
Nice.
The country lawyer. Well, here's the thing, old Cap and Art. Every year, the reason why I do free comic book day at my house, like on Long Island, is because at the yacht club we have our Derby day. There's Derby, the race, and the Derby party. I'm not missing the Derby party.
You guys play croquet?
But I'm getting a seersucker suit this year.
You guys play croquet out in the grounds?
No, we just drink and smoke cigars, get shit faced, and
all good man.
And watch
the way.
And oogle at the gals,
Croquet on the
their
grounds.
hats and all their dresses and
Sipping Manhattans.
no. Yeah, you can still drink a Manhattan. Yeah, you can still. You can't drink a Manhattan after Memorial Day. No, I drink my scotch though.
Yes.
My buddy Whitehouse makes a great Manhattan. The only Manhattans I have is when he makes it. It's a Southern Manhattan. It's made with sweet vermouth, Maker's Mark, Southern Comfort, and maraschino cherries. It's good for a mixed drink.
Nice.
Sounds delicious.
It really is. I'd rather stay pure.
A mint
I don't mix my drink, but okay.
Oh my God! Have you guys ever had a mint julep? It's awful.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Crap.
It's horrible. I've got
My
a whole
wife
book
likes
on a whole book on 1940s and 50s mixed drinks and shit.
Did you ever try Rob Roy? It's shit.
Yep.
How do you really feel about the Rob Roys, Billy?
Well, I did that. I said, "By George, give me a Rob Roy," and I'm like, "Oof." I found my drink, old Cap, and I found my fellows.
All right, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure.
It's been great. Thank you guys for sticking around. Mob Seat is a pisser, man. You see all Mob Seat's quotes? He's a friggin' pisser.
Oh yeah.
Art, thank you for coming on. Everyone out there, please support Corona Mechanics.
Yep.
Blevins, I'll call you tomorrow, my brother.
That's cool.
And support crowdfunding comics and share the word. We got new shows coming out. Our channel's got all new shows now.
Well, tell Art T-Bear what our shows are.
You sure you want me to break silence?
Give him a little.
You guys have been getting some A-list guests on it, man.
Well, yeah, Thursdays is now Crowdfunding Comics Presents Mainstream.
Ooh.
Because it's mainstream creators. And this is a stream. So it's our mainstream.
So it's
Thursday
not
nights.
a clever name.
Our next guest will be Corey Feldman.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
No. I don't know.
The Goonie?
I don't know.
We should try. Blevins,
Yes.
jump on it.
I've already contacted him, and his agent said that he wouldn't come on, number one, unless we paid, and number two, unless his band got to play a song first.
Oh my God!
Does he realize what our show is?
Man.
Yeah, I told him exactly what the show was.
Old Cap, so famous yet so poor.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You gotta make.
I just want to thank you all.
I want to see Billy lose his shit when Corey comes on the show.
I would like to know, what happened to the hot chick you were married to, and how heartbreaking was when you realized she married you only because of the money she thought you had.
Well, he's going through some rough
from the
stuff
Lost Boys
with Aaron Carter, like one of the like Disney teen kids or whatever it is. They did that marriage boot camp deal, and Aaron Carter lost his mind, and like Corey Feldman's been doing the circuit scene, telling people about how Aaron Carter lost his mind, and his agent's a nice guy, and like Corey Feldman's agent's a nice guy, but he just wants the money. Like he doesn't care what Corey does. But I'm like, hey, look, like our show's not like one of those pay to play shows.
Isn't that the job of an agent? All they care about is the money.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, it's more than just that. They're supposed to be making sure that their people stay relevant.
Billy, how did we go from talking about the coronavirus canceling cons to Brian Pulido's online Comic Con?
That's a
the
good
military to Allen to military. Now we've sunk it all the way down to Corey Feldman.
Well,
wow, and I think
that's the cue, bro.
You forgot
Bob
the
C.
coronavirus.
Bob C. just says, "Geez, Corey."
Well, Corey's
All
the
right,
guy
guys,
who voiced
I'm
the
going to bed.
purple turtle, right?
I'm going. I gotta get up early. I'm going to bed.
Hey, before we go though, tomorrow night,
Yes.
9 p.m. Please join us as it's a creator circle. So
Super
now on
cool.
Tuesday nights is going to be solely crowdfunding comics. This is where we're going to be picking up where we leave off. So this Tuesday will be 106, and we're going to try to highlight 3 creators. 1 Kickstarter, 1 Indiegogo, and a Spotlight creator. This week we've got Todd Black on at 9. We've got John Gallagher and Carla Tonelli on at 9:30, and then our Spotlight Artist of the Week is going to be Steph Wilson. So join us tomorrow night at 9. And Billy, are you going to be able to attend?
I have my American Legion meeting tomorrow. I can't.
Okay, so we'll
Maybe
get a fill-in
late.
for
Maybe
you.
hopefully it'll get done early, and I'll.
Yeah, we'll get a fill-in.
We have
I'll figure it out.
our monthly meeting, old Cap, tomorrow. You know how those go.
Maybe RT
I
Bear's going
understand.
to
I've got a city council meeting myself.
Nice.
So I'll try to head on later.
Old Cap, it's nice meeting you. And Art, as always, it's great talking to you as well.
Yes, same, you guys.
Gentlemen,
Thanks for having me, guys.
it has been
thanks
fun.
for popping in, Art. Appreciate it.
Anytime, Art. You're fantastic. Good night,
Take
guys.
care.
And, Das Blevins, talk to you tomorrow. Old Cap, see you in Das Blevins in 2 weeks.
That's right.
Scala, if you want to come on down, you got a place to stay. Just put it out there.
Well, he knows that he got to play. I already got a place, even though he didn't go.
He's
All
generous. He even got the king size.
Yep.
All
So
right,
we
good
can
night,
sleep
boys.
next to each other. Good night,
Look
everyone.
forward to seeing you all. Have a good night.
Howdy
Good night.
ho.
Hey guys, thanks again for tuning into Crowdfunding Comics. We look forward to hanging out with all of our crowdfunding fans every time we go live. And don't forget to click the link below and subscribe to our channel. And there's a little bell, you may want to hit that too. This way you get all the great notifications when we go live and when we upload some awesome content. You want to follow us? Sure, go right ahead at Twitter at CrowdFundComics with an X, Instagram Crowdfunding Comics, and Facebook at Crowdfunding Comics. Till next time, crowdfunding fans, we'll see you soon.